What is up, my friends? How are we? And you are very welcome along to tonight's match. The Reds taking on Aston Villa in the second last league game of the season. The team news is in, and yeah, that's a team. Yeah, that there's 11 there. Other than that, it's not great. No Isak, no Frimpong. Looks like they are out, as we suspected they might be. So we've had a stab at the formation and given it the best attempt that we could. We reckon maybe Managerial in goal, Gomez, Canade, Van Dijk and Kirkes making up the back four. Gravenberch, Jones, McAllister, Gakpo through the middle, Rio on the left, Szoboszlai on the right. It's, yeah, that's a team. Yeah, there's, yeah, yeah. That's all I have to say so far, because I don't really know what else to say. Yeah, that's a team, ladies and gentlemen. There's definitely 11 players there. We can confirm that one. The Villa team has dropped in, and that looks a little bit more like a regular team. So the Villa team is Martinez, Cash, Lindelof, Konza, McGinn, Tielemans, Buendia, Watkins, Digne, Morgan Rogers, and Pau Torres. So yeah, a little bit more like a team there for Villa, but still some players on the bench. They've got they've got quite a strong bench, actually, to be honest with you. Sancho there, Abraham there, Ross Barkley there, Leon Bailey there, Madsen there, Douglas Luiz there. Yeah, so yeah, that happened. Yeah. I don't know what to say anymore. I'm out of words. I really don't know what to say. Yeah. So, thoughts on that 11, ladies and gentlemen? I'd say Villa must be shitting themselves in the dressing room there. And thank God we spent all that money last summer. And thank God Arne is good at keeping players off the injury table. You know, there's always bonuses. What a man. What a man, ladies and gentlemen. What a season. Yeah. So, yeah. Sam said, got a bad feeling about Isak staying fit next season. I don't know what to say, mate. I thought it was a piss take. Honestly, I thought it was a wind up about the Isak situation. It's gone. It's crazy. I don't know what is going on at our football club, but it's yeah. I don't know what this. How can we have any confidence in him staying fit when he can't stay fit for 2 weeks at this point? It's crazy. Lewis Steele said, Liverpool hopeful Isak will be back fit next week to face Brentford. Thank God he'll be here for the last game of the season, lads. So, whoo! It was me worried a little bit there that maybe we'd bought ourselves a situation of a problem. But no, it's okay, because he'll be back next week for the last game of the season. So, yeah, that makes everything better, doesn't it? I don't know what we were all fussing and worrying about. Everything's grand. Everything's grand, he says, as behind him is on fire. Mythical Return said, can't wait for this depressing season to be over. Excited to see more of Rio, but that's about it. That's pretty much where my head's at as well. Yeah, I'm same as you. Excited to see Rio, definitely on board with that. But it's just another. See, there's two ways I think about this when Mythical returns. One, he already has an inbuilt excuse for if the result doesn't go his way, and this will feed into this extraordinarily difficult season. I have a question though. How about we look at the man who's training them and asking how the fuck that Frimpong is now on his 5th injury of the season, when he had none really before he came to Liverpool from a muscle perspective, but he has 5 now already. So that went well. And then we've got Isak, of course, 125 million. That hasn't exactly gone to plan. But don't worry, we've got our backup centre forward, Hugh. Oh, no, shit. No, he's not around either. So that's good. But at least we can rely on the senior players in that. Oh, no, they're gone. No. Yeah. So, yeah. This is a game, and they're players. And it's going to happen. Yeah. Are we all absolutely flush with confidence now for this? What are we thinking? 5-6-0 to Liverpool? Something like that? If Aston Villa wins, would be 50-50 on qualifying for the Champions League. It will depend on how other results go. You know, it does. Like, we've got a 4-point buffer at the minute, so it will depend how, Brighton's results go. I think Brentford, I can't remember who else is in the sort of chasing pack. Yeah. Who's Diego? Kai, who's this Diego fella that we're saying RIP to? Do we mean Diogo? I don't know what to say, lads. This is another underwhelming 11, but I don't know what else to say about it. We've just been given nothing to get our teeth stuck into in a positive sense, really. So, Lewis Bowyer saying James McConnell is back in the Liverpool first team today, the first time the 21-year-old has done so since February 2025. And thank you, Keane, for sending that one on to me as well, my man. Appreciate it. So, yeah, thoughts, ladies and gentlemen? Results-wise, what are we thinking? Will Liverpool win it? Will it be a Villa win? There's a poll in the chat there for you to vote on. So we're asking you for the predictions. Aston Villa win, draw, or Liverpool win. For me, draw is kind of how I felt about it all week. But look, if we win, it's done. We win today, we're in the Champions League. It's guaranteed. If we don't win today, obviously it goes down to the last game of the season. But you just feel like this is a year where we're getting nothing to be excited about. Like, every time we even think we're getting back to some type of normality, something else happens, and unfortunately we're talking about more injuries. And again, like I've said, it's going to be written about how it's been an unprecedented season, but I really think they need to look at how some of these injuries have come about and do some further research on it, because whatever about Isak and the fractured leg, that was unlucky. No argument there. But the situation with Frimpong really is concerning, and I think we need to dig deep as to why that happened this season and has continued to happen. Because whichever way you look at it, it doesn't end well for us. Whether it's the increased physicality of the Premier League causing them, again, you would have to say, should this not have been quantified by the numbers people beforehand? Should they not have altered Frimpong's training throughout the season, perhaps, to try and figure out this? Maybe they have. But either way, it hasn't stopped it, has it? And once again, we're going into another huge game here with Salah, who can only play a few minutes, with no centre forward because both of them are out injured, with our right back also out injured. I don't know what to say anymore, except I'm not taking it as an excuse. I'm fed up of hearing excuses from the manager. They chose this squad. They built this squad. This is in their vision. So they have to be responsible for it, in my humble opinion. Stevie boy, absolute shite. Yeah, that's kind of where my head's at as well, mate. And look, of course, we hope the lads put in a good performance, and if we win, happy days. But yeah, it just feels like we can't get any little bits of positivity at the minute. Evening, Craig. If Liverpool lose their last 2 games and don't get Champions League football, will they sack him? I hope he stays. Glory, glory, Man United. Keep up the good work. I think yes. If on whatever mad circumstance we didn't get Champions League, he has to go then. I don't think there's any argument at that point to keep him in. The Champions League argument seems to only work with FSG and not fans, but at least you can in some way understand that, even if you disagree with it. If he doesn't get Champions League football, look, just for the last stretch of games alone, the fact that we're making this such hard work is embarrassing. We could have boxed this off weeks ago, but we've made a meal out of it, as we have done all season. And tonight, I don't know what Villa show up. I do know that Villa Park's going to be loud. They're going to want to give their boys a send-off before the Europa League final. So I'm expecting the atmosphere there to be good. The Villa players that are on the pitch to be up for it. And it remains to be seen what Liverpool show up. But fingers crossed we can get the result. Bobby said, "Hey Craig, been out of the loop. How are we?" I'm all right, my man. I'm all right. Busy day today, just trying to plug away at a few bits and pieces. But yeah, I'm not going to lie. I'm looking forward to a couple of days off after tonight. I'm taking a couple of days off live streaming. Probably put out a few news videos, but I just need to catch a breather, because the anger that's been going through me over the past month, I'm basically walking around with a constant headache at this point. Muldor said, I'd rather have seen Will Wright play as a centre forward than see Gakpo there again. I could respect the man if he filled gaps with youth we have, but this is third. Yeah, it would have been interesting to see Will Wright get a run, and hopefully we see him get some minutes today. But look, it feels like a piss take at this point. You know, that we've never had even something resembling a fit squad all season. And you can look at it and say it's unlucky, and some of it might be, but I have to think it runs a bit deeper than that. I just have to, because players that haven't had injuries in their careers as much, getting them more. And Isak, well, look, it's just not looking great for the club and their decision there. I really don't even know. I don't even know how to feel about it anymore. At this point, I'm just laser focused on hoping he gets fired, and after that, I'm up for any optimism, and I'll get behind any coach, and I'll feel much more optimistic about Liverpool's future. But look, I'm interested as well to try to find out if that private jet that left Liverpool to head to Boston today does have any of the executives on it. If it is a review or something like that, it could be just a coincidence, but it flew into the same private airport that John W. Henry used recently. We'll keep an eye out tonight to see if we can see any of the executives at the game at Villa Park, but it is interesting to contemplate if some of them are on there. Ignoring football, Craig, Arnie or Stallone? Oh, Stallone, definitely. Just for Rocky alone, Stallone. Yeah, I wouldn't have really been a huge fan of Schwarzenegger's movies. Like I wouldn't have watched Terminator or any of those. Just not my type of thing. But you know, First Blood, the likes of Rocky, I'm all over that. So yeah, definitely Stallone for me. Slot calling critics like drunkards in a pub. I don't know what that means. Is he? I mean, he can call me if he wants. Somebody feel free to pass along my number to Slot if he wants to give me a buzz and we can talk about Liverpool this season, because I've a lot I'd like to say to the man. The night script said, this is a sacred night as the weekend follows. They better make it right. I can't be asked about player missing excuses. Either win or F off. Love all. Yep, it's the second to last game. It's a Friday night. I hope we get the result as well. Yeah. You know, I want us to get Champions League football, but I want Arne gone as well. So I'm intrigued to see how this all plans out over the next few weeks. Nadir said, hey Craig, hope you're well. To be honest, I've mentally prepared myself for us not to challenge for anything regardless of who we sign. I honestly can't believe this is happening. So this is normally a time where I'm, excuse the language here, but balls deep in transfer stuff, trying to figure out the likelihood of different links. But my entire focus for the last few weeks has been in trying to unearth what's really going on with the managerial situation. Because like you, I can't believe that there's even a semblance of credibility to keep him on. It's madness to me. Theo said, I'm sorry, but we need to lose and miss out on Champions League for the greater good. We need this clown out of our club. Once again, I'm sorry and ashamed to say, but I hope we lose by 4 or 5. Look, I'll never want Liverpool to lose a game of football, like I've said. But we did have this hypothetical question yesterday, which I guess at this point would have to be Liverpool losing some games of football. But I was asked, would you take no Champions League football to get rid of Slot? And I said I would. And the fact that we're even in this mental position where we're weighing up that is a sad state of affairs, because we shouldn't have to be here, because they should have done the job correctly and removed them a long time ago. Mitchell said, Slot doesn't deserve another window. Embarrassing. It is. But look, I tell you what. How about tonight, for the entirety of the game, or at least until we see what direction it's going, we just park up the Arne Slot getting sacked stuff, and we'll talk about it after the game. Because right now, there's enough for us to be talking about with regards to injury-prone players. and players potentially looking to leave the club and what will look like next season on the pitch. And those concerns are continuing to grow, of course, with the news like Alisson Becker and Juventus heating up a little bit. The Jones situation, I'm still trying to get my head around whether he really does think he needs to leave Liverpool or whether it's maybe a contract renewal push. Truth is, I don't know, but I'm really concerned, same as everybody else, about what we might see over the next few months. And like I was saying a minute ago, normally I'm so excited about the end of the season, the transfer window, because for a channel outside of the games, transfers are huge for any content creators, and that whole era and period of the season is one that I always look forward to because it's filled with ups and downs and mystique. And right now, I just don't have any anticipation for it because my head is just firmly fixated on the managerial situation. Why can't Slot just change tactic? I think he probably has tried a few different things this season. I mean, just looking at the games against PSG alone, there was 3 different variations over the 2 games that I can think of off the top of my head, if not more. And none of them are working. And to me, it really feels like this is a motivational thing where the players just aren't listening or don't feel inspired by him. Poseidon said, we can't lose Alisson and Jones on top of everything else. I certainly don't see how the likes of Endo can be got rid of. We have no squad left. It's mental. Yeah, it's mental. I mean, let's run through the bench for today's game as well. So if you're just joining us and you haven't seen yet, the 11 is, as you can see on screen, Mamardashvili, Gomez, Kanade, Virgil, Kirkes. A midfield of Gravenberch, McAllister, and we believe Gravenberch, McAllister and Jones. And then we think Szoboszlai on the right, Rio on the left, and Cody Gakpo through the middle. The bench for Liverpool, Woodman, Wirtz, Salah, Chiesa, Robbo, Nioni, McConnell, Ndiaye and Wright. So we know Salah's only capable of a few minutes, as the manager said during the week. Wirtz, I don't know exactly how we're fixed for him. We know he was on antibiotics. I think he had a stomach infection. So not sure what his level is at. It's not great. It's not great. But let's wait and see. Isak's injured, unfortunately, for those asking. He's injured. So's Frimpong, which isn't great, but it is what it is. There's nothing we can really say other than, unfortunately, they're unavailable. But they reckon that Isak should hopefully be back for the game against Brentford next Sunday. Emmanuel said, who else just had an empty feeling in the pit of their stomach so far from the excitement of the Klopp era? Yeah, that's unfortunately been the way I've felt for a long time now. And I dare say I'm not on my own either. So yes, for those coming in asking, the big news, I guess, is there's no Isak in the matchday squad. There's no Frimpong in the matchday squad. The fears that Liverpool fans had that maybe they would be unavailable for this game based off some of the training photos and gym work seems to have obviously been borne out to be correct. We did touch on this in the earlier video that I did about 4:30. We questioned whether he was injured, and unfortunately it is the case, which really is a kick in the nuts. So the Villa team, again, just to run through it for you guys, it's Martinez, Cash, Lindelof, Konsa, McGinn, Tielemans, Buendia, Watkins, Digne, Pau Torres and Morgan Rogers. So Villa have gone pretty strong with their team. Their bench is Marco Bizot, Ross Barkley, Andres Garcia, Tammy Abraham, Jadon Sancho, Douglas Luiz, Ian Matson, Lemaire Bogard and Leon Bailey. That's the Villa bench. Liz, how are we? Liz, I just thought of something the other day. I never sent you over anything yet. I must talk to Connor about it because we wanted to get you something unique to send over to you rather than just something blasé. But with all the madness and the Adam stuff and everything, it's just completely slipped my mind. So it came into my head there the other day and I thought I must remember to sort that out for Liz and get it sent over. Have you stayed at the bench yet? I have, but happy to go through it again for you, my friend. Let me just quickly run through it. The Liverpool bench is Woodman, Wirtz, Salah, Chiesa, Robbo, Nioni, McConnell, Ndiaye, and Wright. That is the Liverpool bench. How can you blame Slot for this team? Everybody is injured. Let's pause it right there. Why are they injured? Why are they injured? Might it be because of the training methods that have been highlighted as some changed from halfway through last year? Might that be why maybe he's injured? Might that be perhaps May? And also, he's the manager. That's how we can blame him. It's very simple. It's quite fun. You should really try it sometime. But again, if your training methods have been pointed out as being flawed by many people in the industry, and then the injuries come on top of it when you've changed the methods from the ones that were already here that got you through without the injuries, I think it's fair to point the finger squarely at the direction of the coach and say, this surely has some correlation, at least. So that's how. But unlike your good self, at least I explain my position as to why I think he's semi-responsible for it. And also, Hughes and Edwards, the recruitment team, they absolutely need to be held to account as well for their failures. Remember one of the reasons why Arne was given the job? I think this often gets forgotten about in all of this mess. The things that made him stand out above others were the ability to keep players fit. That 90% plus fitness rate that him and Ruben Peters had. The similarities to the brand of football of Jurgen Klopp. And the lack of major upheaval to a squad that's used to a 4-3-3. Before you say anything else about the manager, remember that. Remember those very, very strong things. And the fact that he was supposed to be able to overperform with a slightly smaller budget to other clubs. Now tell me if he's achieved any of those over the past 12 to 16 months. And I'll rest my case at that. I didn't make those decisions. I didn't have the data. I didn't push him forward to say these are all the things that make him different to others. And then when all of those things start to fall away, how are we supposed to feel other than frustrated by it? And he wanted a small squad, David, yeah. All of these things. But, you know, Carragher said, if Chelsea do get Xabi Alonso, I'll want them to win more than I usually do. Him being my ex-teammate, but let's see. Liverpool may also have done a masterstroke by sticking with a manager who's already won the Premier League. Yeah, I think we can safely say, Jamie, that Liverpool haven't done a masterstroke by keeping a manager that's won the Premier League and then ripped the team to shreds and seen it fall off the edge of a cliff. But cool. I know you've got to be a company man, Jamie, but don't worry. We know when the cameras are off, Jamie, the truth comes out. We know when you're messaging your son and you think there's nobody recording and you're saying it's a sackable offence. I know you have to be a hypocrite, Jamie. That's okay. We expect nothing less at this point. But if you're going to give opinions and say with a fucking straight face that you'll want Chelsea to win more stuff, then I think we all know where your head's at, Jamie. But, you know, I don't care if Santa Claus is managing Chelsea. I still don't want him to win anything. Coleman leaving Everton. End of an era for derbies. Yeah, huge for Seamus Coleman. What a servant he's been to Everton. And what a bargain as well. I think 50 grand or something like that. They paid Sligo Rovers back in the day. And just what a servant he's been. You know, for Irish football, obviously, I've got nothing but good things to say about Seamus Coleman. And I dare say there wouldn't be too many Evertonians that would have that negative to say about him either. An absolute legend. Matteo said, so the players are fit, Wirtz is fit, Salah is fit, everyone's fit, just making a potential excuse. Salah isn't fit, to be fair. Like, he can only play a few minutes. So, Wirtz, I don't know quite how recovered from the infection Wirtz is. I wouldn't know, but I did mention in my preview that I'd be surprised if Wirtz was able to play the 90. So, it's no real surprise to me that coming back from an infection like that, we've all been on antibiotics. It does take it out of you. And if you're a top level sports person, if you're not at 100%, it's difficult at the best of times. What do I think about Xabi going to Chelsea? I think Michael Edwards is a prick. That's what I think. I think Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes can fuck right off and stop gaslighting us and stop not admitting they were wrong and stop sitting back and letting the guy Liverpool fans would like to come in to take over walk away to a rival just because you're too butthurt to admit you were wrong. That's what I think about the situation. Why is Isak not in? Because he's injured, unfortunately, Hamza, my man. Injured. It doesn't look like it's a serious injury. There's some chatter that he could be back for the last game of the season, but who cares at this point? It's fucking irrelevant whether he's back next week or not, because either way, he's still going to look out of place. He's still not going to look like he's fit in with the team yet, and he's still going to need the pre-season to get really up to speed. So whether he's fit or not next week, I really don't think it makes too much of a difference at this point. Until he gets into a run of 5, 6, 7, 8 games in a row and starts building up a rhythm, we're not going to see the best out of him anyway. We might get little flashes of it, little moments, but, we're not going to see the best of him. So we're going to have to hope that we see that next season. What if Edwards and Hughes are leaving, so won't get Alonso? I don't get the correlation. I honestly, I don't get what you mean by what if they're leaving, so they won't get Edwards. Well, if they were leaving, or they won't get Alonso, excuse me, if they were leaving, somebody else is going to have to step into the role anyway. And look, if they are leaving, or we've got an even bigger headache then. Because then we've got all this other stuff to worry about, as well as the sporting director, as well as the CEO of football. Look, the whole thing just feels messy and avoidable. And I still, at the back of my mind, can't believe that they will actually stick with him. I really think if they are the numbers people that they say they are, I don't see how they can't look at the numbers and come up to any conclusion other than the only people I think he's been unlucky are the people that want to make excuses for him. That's it. He's had the same as every other manager. He chose the squad, the players. He trains them the way he trains them. He hasn't been able to knit them together or gel them together. So for me, all that's on him. The recruitment side of it, there's definitely problems there. 100%. That needs to be addressed. Bet Newcastle were laughing all the way to the bank when they sold an injury-prone player. Look, it's a weird one, Eddie, isn't it? Because we all knew that this was a possibility when we signed Isak. We all had to say, look, he might have some injuries. And I don't know if I'm being unfair about the Isak situation, because I did always say I definitely don't expect to see the best of him this season for Liverpool. But I have to admit, Eddie, I did expect to see a bit more. Even allowing for the fact that he was playing catch-up with fitness. And then, of course, he had that unfortunate fracture. I still wanted a little bit more. I wanted to see signs this season that it can work and that it will work going forward. But I don't think as of yet we could safely say we've seen those. And it's impossible to predict future injuries, but it does seem like a very risky 125 million. Asa F. and Rose said, aside from set piece, I don't see how we score with these 11. It won't be pretty. Maybe Rio can pull out a moment. You never know. Maybe Dom on the right could do something. I'm just clutching at straws here, but I'm trying to find something. Chasing Vlog said, congratulations, FSG. You've broken Liverpool this season. Yeah. They have. And done it from a distance without even caring. That's the part that winds me up. Despite all the bad news, I saw pics of the new kits, and can we just sign a 50-year deal with Adidas? Yeah, the new kits are lovely. I won't be buying any of them, but the new kits are lovely. We posted pictures of them into our WhatsApp if you guys haven't seen them already. But like I've said before, I'm not spending a cent on Liverpool till he's gone. Not spending a cent on jerseys, not spending a cent on all red memberships, not buying any tickets, not doing anything until they start acting like people that want to win and run a football club with some type of accountability. Because this season has just been excuse making 101 from start to finish. Yes, that is the confirmed lineup for those asking. Yeah, it is. Now, positionally, they might differ a little bit, but with the starting 11, yes, that is absolutely the confirmed team. No Frimpong, he's injured. Isak injured, unfortunately. Can't wait for them to be released. Each to their own, James, but I'm not spending a penny. Not a fucking cent, mate, am I spending until Liverpool start acting responsibly. Slot second and third season maybe feels like forced Disney sequel after the first one was perfect, said Nessie. It feels, and then they want to make a third one, Nessie. That's what really frustrates me. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Look, this is normally the time where I'd be on here buzzing about the new shirts. You know, I think on the 19th they get officially released. I can't. I refuse. It's killing me. But I'm not spending a penny. I'm not doing it. I'm not supporting this nonsense. The game, Leona, is on a couple of channels. It's Sky have it on 2 channels. So I'm watching it on Sky Sports Main Event, but it's also on Sky Sports Premier League. Yasir, how are you, my man? Said, hello, Craig. How are you, and who's winning the World Cup? Oh, God, good question on the World Cup. I find it hard to look past France, maybe Spain. Couldn't rule out Portugal. I don't think Argentina will do it again. So, yeah, that's probably those. You know, France and Spain, if I'm putting money down, would probably be where I'd put the money. If England can put it together, they can go deep, of course. Argentina, you just never know. Brazil will go nowhere because that's a really poor Brazil team. Eddie said, obviously, the petition was a waste of time. I don't know, Eddie. I don't know about that. And on our petition, actually, well, it's not our petition, but on the petition, let's check. Where is it? What are we at here? It's nearly at 4.5 million people that signed the petition. It's 4,445,000 right now. So it's closing in on 4.5 million people want a manager out. Think about that, lads. Think about how difficult it'd be to get 4.5 million people to click on anything. And then, you know, that's a lot of Liverpool fans. We should make a petition to not buy Liverpool merch. Look, I don't want to tell anybody what to do in that regard, because we all have different ways to look at this situation, different ways to feel about it. All I will say to you is, I personally have made the decision not to spend any money. But I don't want to rain on anybody else's parade. If you want to treat yourself to the new shirt, buy it for your kids, something you're excited about, crack on. Absolutely. You be you. I can just say, for me, the only thing I feel like we have left as fans to do is protest with our wallets. And obviously with our keyboards and stuff like that as well. But that's all I can do. And I don't want to be party to this nonsense. I don't want to contribute to it, because I don't feel that they're doing their best. I don't feel that they're being constructive in the way they've looked at this. And I just don't want to spend more money on something that I feel like I'm being gaslit by my own club. 9 players out injured. Salah limited. Can't wait to watch Gakpo play a full 90 just so Salah Chiesa to get the last 2 minutes so Slot can blame them. Thank you, Cam. 32 months with us, man. Appreciate that. The petition could be botted and it doesn't require signing in. It still requires look, anything can be manipulated, of course. And whether it required signing in or not, it's still an ungodly amount of people. And if you're botting it, you're going to have to be botting it from different devices or with different IP addresses each time. Because from here in my own house doing it, I know I was able to vote on my computer and I was able to vote on my phone. But after that, I couldn't do it again from a similar device unless I used a VPN. Now, are you really going to go through all that bollocks on for a petition to get rid of a manager? Well, I wouldn't anyway. It wouldn't be worth the hassle for clicking a button and giving one vote. But each to their own, you know? Did you watch the Soboslai video with Jamie Redknapp? No, I don't watch anything Jamie Redknapp's in because it hurts my ears to listen to him. So Miguel Delaney saying, in my newsletter today, Liverpool have not got in contact with Alonso because from both data and other evidence, they believe Slot is a better manager for them. Fuck off. What evidence? I have evidence that Arne Slot isn't the right manager. I mean, if I don't have to show it like they don't, then my evidence shows that Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes and Arne Slot should all be fired. But, you know, and other things as well. Because who can play that game? Oh, Liverpool's data should... No, it doesn't. Shut the fuck up. Your data absolutely doesn't show that he's been unlucky and deserves to stay. Your data can't measure the groans inside Anfield, the anger by Liverpool fans around the world, you arrogant fucking pricks. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of being gaslit by all these idiots. Absolute... Now, I'm not talking about Miguel Delaney there, by the way, but I'm fed up of this trust me bro bullshit. Their data shows nothing to say that this has been anything other than a catastrophe of a season. We can all just hide behind lies and manipulation. But show the data. Explain the data. Tell us why he's been unlucky. You won't be able to, like I keep saying, because it doesn't exist. Idiots. I'm fucking sick of them all. I'm sick of the amount of people bending over backwards to accept mediocrity at this football club. It's appalling. Arne Slot on injuries. I don't think it comes as a surprise to anybody. Yeah, that you're going to make more excuses, you clown. Today we missed 9 players that can start a game of football. The good thing is that blah, blah, fucking blah. I don't care. I don't care what he says anymore. I don't care. I'm sick of listening to his whiny little fucking voice. Like, it's not like... injuries just magic out. Like, they just happen. Walking down the road. Oh, there goes me hamstring. It's like there's no connection. There's no correlation here between maybe the methods could have led to more injuries. Can we have that conversation as adults, please? No. The data. Trust me, bro, data. Yeah, the data's worked so well, didn't it? The recruitment data worked so well last summer. And the data for this year's worked so well, lads, hasn't it? Well, my data says you're all fucking spoofers. That's my data. And my data says, fuck you, Richard Hughes, Michael Edwards and Arne Slot. That's what my data says, but, you know. Dylan said, as a studying data science student, data can only go so far, but it needs a lot of details which some can't really be measured. Data needs common sense. Exactly. And booing, how do you measure the booing? Do you throw the decibels of the booing into your data? Do you show the 3,000 tickets that were returned? The almost 4.5 million fans that want them gone that clicked on a petition? Does that show up in your little nerdy data, you fucking dweebs? I'm fed up with them. The club's being run by nerds. That's it. All the football stuff's now out the window. It's geek central. They might as well just go fucking turn it into an Apple Genius bar at this point, because they're all sitting there fucking hard-ons with their calculators thinking that that solves everything. I think we've seen that their data is flawed at this point, because their data has put us into this fucking mess with this spoofer of a manager and players that are unfit. The fact that most pundits want Slot to stay tells he's the wrong man for Liverpool. These pundits struggle to accept we won the league. Look, these pundits are the same geniuses that when Manchester United appointed Carrick, all of them, go back and watch it, they all said, you can't give him the job full time. You can't give Carrick the job full time. We can't make the same mistakes that United made in the past. Now what's happening? They're all clamoring over themselves to say, give him the job. And people take these people seriously. Lads, anybody with even frequenting knowledge of Liverpool this season, just watching them vaguely, will see how bad we've been. And will see how much the manager's disliked. And that he will not win people back around. And all of this is just delaying the inevitable, which is Slot getting fired, us being a mess halfway through next season, and the data dweebs fucking off to Saudi Arabia or somewhere else with millions in their pocket, and they, our data. Yeah, they believe in it so much that Edwards about to fuck off back to the company he formed. That's how much they believe in it. Absolute spoofers. Each and every one of these fucking dorks need to be run out of the football club because they're turning it into a fucking physics lab instead of actual football people. Because it baffles me that these people can look at this season and come to any conclusion other than the man is a fucking spoofer. Small squad, more playing time, more injuries. Yep, but the data, the Hawk, the data. Matt Denny said, the evidence against Slot is overwhelming. On the pitch, it's excruciatingly boring, and off the pitch is snidey comments to players and fans throwing people under the bus. Yep. It's ridiculous. It's a great exercise in how to annoy and anger your own fan base just before you ask them to empty their pockets again. Really is genius stuff, this. The 5DBS said, Craig, aside from Slot out, who would you want to see come to Liverpool this summer? Would any make you excited for at least one decent showing next season? Who would I like to see? Look, it's hard to get excited about anybody knowing that he's going to be in charge because it's all going to be caveated with his bullshit style of play. So I struggle to get excited about anything this summer with him in charge. I just can't. I hate the man. I can't even look at him. I don't want to hear his voice. That's how bad it's gotten, and I can't get away from it. This is like destroying me as a fan. Like, I go into bed at night with a headache, getting up with a headache. Because I'm so adamant he's the wrong man. For so many reasons. Culturally, stylistically. He's just not a good fit. And I'm fed up of being right, but being early. I'm fed up of it. I'm fed up of all of us seeing what's going to happen. But these fucking dorks that run the club just hide away in the shadows like cowering little fucking cowards that they are. And just keep briefing their little friends in the media. We're backing them. The data. We all had a circle jerk and we decided the data shows that Arne deserves another season. Stick their dad up their arse. Honestly, I'm sick of them. If Slot was fired and somebody had to call him to tell him he's sacked, how much money would you pay to make that call? And would you tell him, if you don't mind, try role play, what would he say? Honestly, it would be respectful. It would. Now, if you could let me fire Edwards and Hughes, that'd be a different conversation. But Arne, like I've said, he did win a league title and he deserves the respect for that. And it isn't personal. It's getting personal with the two dorks because they're just gaslighting us. At least Slot says what he says. We might disagree with it, but at least we hear from the man. At least he's there. And his faults we can all judge. So I always have some sympathy with him in that regard because he's the one that's thrown out to deal with it. The other two fucking dweebs just hide away behind their computers, skulking in the shadows, moving around thinking they're fucking ninjas. and then just brief their little mates like Ornstein about how they're backing him. They're backing him despite the season. Like, as if we don't all have eyes and we haven't been able to see the state of this season. And it's nothing to do with being unlucky. It's to do with him being a fucking spoofer of a coach. I'd never, ever for a million years thought I'd end up this angry towards a Liverpool manager. Never. But it's gone beyond anything that I can even semble as credible to keep him employed at the club. I can't get my head past it. It's mental. Mental. If you were Jurgen, how would you feel about seeing how quick your hard work has been undone? Well, if I was Jurgen, Nadida, I would firstly expect it when Edwards is back. Because there's a reason those two went in separate directions. So as soon as Edwards came back in, I would fully expect a lot of what I did to be undone, particularly with the older, more experienced players. Like, I'm absolutely convinced when Edwards found a way to get rid of Salah off the wage book, he was fisting, let's just say, the air with happiness. Bransfield, man, thank you. Appreciate you with us. Thank you, man, for your 17 months. Is it true about Harvey Elliott returning to Liverpool? Well, he will do, yes, but he'll be going straight back out the door again if Slot's there. But yes, the deal with Villa was only he had to play a minimum of 10 games, didn't play them, and then obviously now they don't have to buy him. So the data dweebs have cost 15, 20 million quid to Liverpool by messing up that deal. But, you know, is there any accountability for that? Will we hear anyone in the media criticising them for the absolute fucking holy mess they made of Elliott's situation? Will anybody stand up and criticise them for the Chiesa fiasco and all the other things that have cost Liverpool tens of millions of pounds? But, you know, the data. Scott, have you heard the rumours about Edwards and Co being summoned to Boston? I have, Scott, yeah. And sorry, mate, this was your other one saying I missed your super chat. Apologies, Sam. Or Scott, excuse me, Scott. I did, mate, yeah. So I seen a couple of posts about the jet that was leaving Liverpool to go to Boston, same private airport that John W. Henry flew into from New York. But I guess we'll see who's at Villa Park tonight. So if you see any cameras in the stands or going towards the stands, try and keep an eye out for who's there. Because then we might get a better idea of if they are perhaps in Boston. The Wonder Man said, my town's on high alert today and all weekend because of a big funeral. Some pubs have closed due to the potential for trouble. 300 plus attended it. Well, I hope it's all safe and everybody's okay, my man. Just make sure, you know, keep your head down, stay out of harm's way. And yeah, we've had a few of them in our town as well over the years. So yeah, just keep your head down and I hope everyone's okay. Surprise Villa going so strong with midweek. Yeah, it is a little bit of surprise, I guess, but I think a win today for either team gets you Champions League football. So maybe Emery thinks, look, we get this boxed off. If we win tonight, Champions League football is done. A bit less pressure on the boys than over in the final of the Europa League because they've already got Champions League secured. So maybe that's the case, but certainly is a little bit stronger than I expected, Paul. And thank you, Paul, for being with us as a member as well, my man. Appreciate you. Triller Extian said, evening everybody, sorry, but we need to have an honest conversation about Isak. Do we truly believe he'll be fully fit and ready for next season, or are we ever going to recoup our investment in him? All we can do is hope, mate. All we can do is hope that, you know, he has a good World Cup with Sweden, you know, improves his match fitness there, hopefully doesn't pick up any other knocks, and we get him in, get a full pre-season with him, and it all starts to gel. All we can do at this point is hope, because I don't think any of us can say categorically, one way or the other, that we know he will or won't be able to stay fit. Yeah, and that's the honest answer that I give you. Craig, how do you think about Gravenberch's performance lately? Look, I like Ryan Gravenberch as a player. I do. I just don't like him as a six. I just look. We got away with it that first year, and fair play. You know, it was a good plan by Slot at that point to do that, and fair play. But after that, into this season, it's not looked balanced. And the real worrying part for me came when I heard Gravenberch say after the Newcastle game when he scored in it that the manager had given him more license to get forward this year. And I'm thinking, he's our deep line midfield player. He should be one of the last ones to be getting license to go forward. But I do like him as a footballer, and I'm very glad he's a Liverpool player. You know, once we get in a proper number 6 in the future, I think we'll see Ryan Gravenberch's game continue to push on. And look, he's still quite young as well as a footballer, so no doubt there's more to come from Ryan. Yusuf, said Craig, looking dapper in the black shirt, my man. Thank you. I am about 7 kilos down at this point in weight, which is about 15, 16 pound in old money, which I'm happy about, but loads more to go. So, you know, good start and all, but it's, yeah. Look, I'm in a constant state of anger these days. It's horrible. It's like being back to when I was in my mid to late 20s and how I felt back then, which, you know, was pretty angry at the world. Right now, every day I'm going around with a headache. I'm going around constantly on edge because of the Liverpool situation. Because I believe this or not, and I know it's hard when I'm this frustrated, but I have tried to look at this through every angle, from every perspective, to try to see if I think I'm being unfair or harsh. And I don't. Because I refuse to just put faith in something that I can't see. I refuse to believe that their data truly shows. Even Melissa Reddy in her piece suggested the data might have shown that Slot was the right man then, but he isn't the right man now. And that no data is going to show that. I don't care what these dorks come up with. The eye test doesn't lie. The lack of intensity doesn't lie. And they can hide behind their fucking keyboards, their calculators and their numbers and their algorithms as much as they want. But the eye test doesn't lie. I know football. I know what I'm looking at. And what I'm looking at is dross every single fucking week. And to try and say anything else as a football club is disingenuous. And to try and gaslight your fans by allowing Alonso to piss off elsewhere so you can watch your failure play out and then disappear angers me to the extreme. Grizzly said, Craig, can't bring myself to watch Slot ball. It's so boring and underwhelming. I won't watch till we get a new manager, or a real manager, sorry. He's there now smiling in his press conference. All I want to do is punch the fucking television. Because this tanned little clown is just rubbing it in. Yeah, sorry, I really don't like him. Have you seen an article with Pierce where he cries about fans calling him out? What a baby. Don't know what it was published in English media, but I saw it on Norwegian fan site. No, I haven't seen the article. Who was complaining about fans calling them out? Slot or Pierce? Either way, Pierce deserves to be called out. He knows it deep down as well, as do Ornstein, Gorst, Doyle, Dominic King, anybody else that's just bending the knee to this tripe deserves to be called out. With its Slot, look, he must wake up every day, say his little prayers to Luis Enrique and PSG, put his rosary beads away, and then he must put on his PSG pyjamas, run downstairs and thank his lucky stars that he still has a job. That somebody's stupid enough to pay him 7 million quid a year to fail miserably, to demoralise a fan base to the extreme, to put out shit teams, to piss off senior players and get 7 million Great British pounds for the privilege of it. Astounding. Congratulations to Inter Milan on doing the Italian double. Yes, congratulations to them. I'd seen that they beat Lazio, I think it was, wasn't it, in the final at the Stadio Olimpico. And yeah, congratulations to them. Liz said, I'm £30 down, just in a coma a couple of times. Yeah, you had it easy, Liz, didn't you? A little coma, like, just easy. Didn't even have to be awake and be hungry, Liz. Much love, my friend. But yeah, I hope you're well, Liz, or as well as can be. Sending love to you, Ian, and the family. Can you put me in a coma? I mean, that'd probably suit a lot of people, to be fair, Liz. Yeah, definitely some people who are sick of me moaning anyway. What's the Villa team? It's a group of 11 players that are put together. You'll notice them. They all have matching jerseys on. Glad I can help. Sorry. I'll go through it now for you, my man. My apologies. I just need a little bit of sarcasm just to keep me going. You wouldn't begrudge me a little bit of sarcasm. Right, the Villa team is Emi Martinez in goal. It's good to them, to Liverpool, to loan out their future number one there. Then it's Cash, Lindelof, Konsa. Then it's McGinn, Tielemans and Buendia. Watkins, Digne, Pau Torres and Morgan Rogers. Apologies for the sarcasm as well, but that is the Villa team for you. The bench is Bissot, Barkley, Garcia, Abraham, Sancho, Louise, Matson, Bogard and Bailey. Coffee on the go? No, it's too late for coffee. I don't drink coffee past 6 p.m. and I got my cups in earlier on, so yeah, too late for coffee. Dark Ruby said, I'm not going to watch next season, not till Slot's gone. I will watch because, you know, I am a Liverpool fan, but I'm not going to be any less angry than I am now. And here's the kicker, we might be losing our assistant coach as well to Feyenoord, so there could be another assistant coach number 3 in 3 years coming in. You know, the stability is wonderful, isn't it? Seeing your player, oh no, they're all gone. Young players like, no, Jones is gone. Promising youngsters like, no, Elliott's gone. It's all right because we've got the goalkeeper. No, Alisson's gone. Help. Help. Will said, evening, Craig. If Arna's still in place next season, all respect for him for winning the league. He'll be gone, needing a rebuild for next season. Cannot be done with this clown. Exactly. I'm like that. The longer he's here, the more toxic it's getting for everyone. And yeah. Yeah. It's yeah. Has anybody got a joke or anything for me? And to cheer me up? Come on. We've got 15 minutes to go. Hit that like button for me. We need to get up to 1,000 likes before we kick off, folks. So if you can, second to last time this season, do hit that like button for me. Is everybody here from Ireland? No. We've got a good eclectic mix, Ninja Tales, from Australia, New Zealand, America, Canada, Ireland, Norway, South Africa, England, Scotland, Wales, Malaysia, Singapore. I'm just trying to work my way through the list where I know Anfield Agenda viewers are from. Ireland, I think, is third on the list of most viewed for the channel. At least it was. It used to be England, America, Ireland, South Africa. I think some in that order. Branfield said, Craig, your glass coffee cups look so good that I went out and bought some. Thank you, my man. I got them in Lidl or something. Like, they weren't expensive. They were £3 or £4 for a 2-pack. And they occasionally do collapse or fall apart, like, but I just like them. I don't know why. I just like them. Feel a bit more posh, maybe drinking out of the glass cups. And also, I couldn't really find it's hard to get proper mugs these days. Do I like the new home kit? Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. I think it's a respectful homage to the kits from the 90s. Yeah, it's not too bad. Look, I haven't been that disappointed with Adidas at all. Like, most of the stuff I've been really a fan of. Only a handful of things that I haven't really liked. But honestly, I think I've spent about $2,500 maybe on Adidas stuff for myself, my wife, my son, some giveaways and stuff we've done. And I love Adidas. Like, I'm always in Adidas gear. So it's killing me not to be buying the new stuff. But I have to make a stand, and that's the only thing I can really do, is just not give them my money. Hamoudi said maybe the plan is for all three, Slot, Edwards and Hughes, to leave in 2027, and then we'll have wasted another season because they just don't care. I was talking about that last night, I think it was, mate, and it almost, look, I could see how we could think that, right? But it just, I don't know, it just all feels so unnecessary. And to ask people to go on another leap of faith, I think you're asking too much without clear empiric evidence to tell us why. And just briefing that the data could not possibly show anything other than, like, if they say they know the problems, well, that's an even bigger crime. Because then you would have known them in January. And you still did nothing there. And you did nothing in his first year. Like, they get way too much leeway. They chose not to make any signings year one for the here and now. Then they tried to do it all in summer two, did nothing in the winter, and they want a round of applause for it. They've made mistakes, and they're only accountable to themselves. And because no one's holding them to account, what hope have we got? James said, keep grinding, matey. I certainly intend to, James. I'm going nowhere, and I'm not backing down either. I'm going to keep calling the club out for this shit until they start acting like they care. Because to feel as a fan gaslit by my own club, and I'm not on my own, I dare say many Liverpool fans are feeling wound up by their own club. Bobby said, I'm a loyalist from East Belfast. I'd rather be here watching a great Irishman than the boring slot style. Well, with regards to the loyalist or not, I take everybody, mate, as I find them. Your religion or anything, or it doesn't bother me, mate. You know, you show me respect, I'll show you respect. And I take everybody at face value. So I'm grateful to have you here with us. I love Belfast, by the way. You've probably seen me say that loads of times. If myself and my wife go away in Ireland at all, it's usually up to Belfast. We love Belfast. It's our favourite city to take a break in. But yeah, thank you for bringing in, and I hope you continue to enjoy it. And it's just frustrating that we're in this position this season, isn't it? West Eagle said, Craig, great channel. Honestly, Angela White could manage Liverpool better than Slot. It's so to feel that they don't even sense that, or they do sense it and don't care. That's what makes this all the more egregious. And like I said, if they really do back him, give him a deal. But they haven't given him a deal yet because they don't believe in him as much as they're trying to convince the rest of us that they do. And it's a really easy fix. Give him a deal. Or even brief that you're talking to him about a new deal. But you haven't seen them do any of that stuff. They just keep telling us all they believe in him. Meanwhile, they've reached out behind the scenes to Alonso's camp to ask him to hang off, as was reported the other day. Ask him to hang off on making a decision back in March. And that was from a journalist, by the way, not just a fan. So, like I said, people can believe the manipulation of football clubs if they want to. But I treat everything with skepticism. And there's no fucking way that I believe that they truly think he's going to turn this round. I think that they truly don't want to be wrong. And they don't want their reputation taking a hit for him failing. But look, even logically, if Slot said that last season was a huge change, lots of new players, and it was a transitional season with 5 new players, As a fan, how am I supposed to believe that adding another 5 or 6 or 7 in this season is going to make it a seamless transition when you couldn't do it the year before? Now, truly, pushing aside all the other stuff and all the other waffle, how am I supposed to believe that? That you couldn't knit 5 new players into the group over fucking the whole season? But I'm supposed to believe that, one, all the injuries are going to magically disappear. You're going to add another 5, 6 or 7 players in, and the players that are already not up to speed will also get up to speed with the new 5 or 6 players. Come on. Like, push aside all the other stuff and just look at that and tell me, how the fuck am I supposed to believe that? And Slot saying he knows everything that... No, you don't. If you knew any of that, you'd have sorted this out and the team wouldn't look as bad as they do. It's all manipulation and lies. All of it. And to have it coming from our own club is egregious. Nessie, Craig and chat, a hypothetical question. Imagine this next season, Slot loses his first league game. What excuse will he come up with? You know, Nessie, what excuse? It will be the new players, the transition, the bedding in process, the same excuses we've heard all year. They'll be trotted out again next year. And it's going to get worse. Anfield's going to get louder. That's it. It's going to be horrible. And they'll have deserved every fucking bit of it. Every fucking bit of it. They deserve every bit of grief that they're getting. Because they're not showing us that they care. They're showing us that they've got egos that are so insecure that they feel they need to brief their mates in the journalist world about their decisions. That's how I see it. Craig, as I sit here, I'm eating a plate of raw broccoli. Almost a year ago, you were enjoying a beautiful crown of the devil's food. There's nothing beautiful about that, mate. But look, my wife loves broccoli. My wife, and I mean, she genuinely does love broccoli. She'd happily have a big plate of broccoli. I think it's, from what I can gather, I've got the super taster gene, because I don't like black coffee, I don't like whiskey, and I don't like certain other things that apparently people that have this gene find repulsive. So maybe that's it. But oh yeah, like, it's not even that I don't like it, it makes me gag. Like, it really makes me gag. Russ said, hey chat, having a long weekend in North Wales. Nice. Enjoy. Beautiful place, North Wales. Enjoy it, Russ. No doubt deserved, my friend. I'm away in June for a few days. My cousin's birthday's over in Spain, so we're heading over for a few days, myself and Sabrina, to have some birthday celebrations with him over there. Happy Friday, Craigo. As an Irishman living in America, you remind me of home. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you, Brian. Thank you. Really, really appreciate your support, my man. Yeah, I bet you'd give at him for an El Tato Sambo and some Barry's tea or some Lion's tea. So I tell you what, though, Brian, even me, mate, if I go on holidays to Spain or something for a week, I'm already hankering for cheese and onion before I even get home. Like, I even bring it away with me. That's how bad I need my cheese and onion crisps. But appreciate your support, my man. I really do. And hopefully we can keep giving you that little reminder at home that hopefully makes it a bit easier for you over there. But thank you so much, Brian, for your support. Right, ladies and gents, teams are walking out onto the hallowed turf of Villa Park. And it is hallowed turf. It's a great football club with a great history and tradition. So, 41% reckoned it'll be a Villa win in the poll. Liverpool win 33%, draw 26%. Right, folks, we need to get those likes up. We've got 2 minutes to go, and we need 171 more likes to get to 1,000. If you can, please do hit that like button for me. Really does help a lot. Hey, everyone, what's this lineup? It's the best, I guess, we can put out with the injuries that we have, unfortunately. Let me run through both lineups for you, though, before we get underway again, folks. We'll start off with the home side, Aston Villa. It's Martinez in goal, then a back four of Cash, Konza, Torres and Digne. In midfield, Victor Lindelof and Tielemans. Then it's McGinn, Buendia, Rodgers and Watkins. That is the Villa starting 11. For Liverpool, Georgie's in goal, Gomez at right back, Kirk is at left back with Kanade and Van Dijk as your centre backs. A midfield of McAllister, Gravenberch, and we think Curtis Jones, we think Dom is right, Rio left and Cody centre, but we'll confirm exactly who's playing where when we see them out there on the pitch. The benches for both games we went through a little bit earlier, but I'll do it again. Liverpool, Woodman, Wirtz, Salah, Chiesa, Robbo, Nioni, McConnell, Ndiaye and Wright. For Villa, it's Bizot, Barkley, Garcia, Abraham, Sancho, Luiz, Matson, Bogard and Bailey. Right, Chris Kavanagh is your referee for this one, ladies and gents. And a reminder, if either side does win this one tonight, they have confirmed their place in next season's Champions League. If any team loses, of course, it'll be a nervous last day of the season and waiting other results this weekend. But, fingers crossed. So, I'll take you through the game as always. Sit back, try to relax, or do as best as you can. Keep your thoughts coming in as the game progresses. Fingers crossed we can see a masterclass from Rio today. And yeah, let's see. Let's see what happens. Paul Diamond said, Chippy just arrived, fish and chips and a Liverpool win. Oh, mate, I haven't had fish and chips in so long. So long. I haven't even had proper carbs in about 3 weeks. God, yeah, I'm kind of surviving on chicken fillets with Nando sauce and stuff. So yeah, tonight I've got myself a little treat. Friday night's always my cheat day. So yeah, tonight I've got some carrot cake slices there ready to go. And of course it's match day, so you know. Right, ladies and gents, don't forget, if you haven't entered a giveaway yet, still plenty of time to do so as well. But we'd love you to subscribe to the Anfield Agenda Clips channel. That is going to become Anfield Agenda Extra really soon with 2 new faces on there, more content from Connor, different types of content as well. Really looking forward to getting cracking with that one next season. What happened to Isak? Unfortunately, he's a bit of an injury. They're hoping he's back next week. Same with Frimpong, he's out as well. I think it's injury number 5 of the season for Frimpong, if my memory's correct. Never had carrot cake. Oh, I love carrot cake. To be fair, there's not many cakes I don't like. Yeah, you know the way some people have a sweet tooth? I have a fat tooth. That's how bad I am. I'll starve myself all day just so I can eat something shitty later at night and still be in the calorie number that I need to be in. That's how bad I am and how much I like my sweet stuff. Right, ladies and gents, we're underway. And Dominic Szoboszlai just boots the ball straight out of play into the Villa half, which has been a bit of a trend this season. Paris Saint-Germain doing it, so of course we're doing it. If PSG do it, of course Arne's having us do it. Paul said red velvet cake. I find red velvet cake a little bit meh. Like, there's not much difference of a flavour to it. Like, I'd rather have an old-fashioned Victoria sponge ball. Anyway, we are underway, as I've said, so sit back, relax, and I'll try my best to keep you up to date. Right. Villa now, ball back to Emi Martinez. Press coming on early from Szoboszlai. Villa looking to play their way out. It's with Matty Cash. Good press there from Alexis McAllister. Ball played off him, though. It'll be a Villa throw-in. Sun still shining through there at Villa Park. Blinding Matty Cash here as he's looking to take the throw. Cheesecake is the best New York style. I agree. New York style cheesecake's amazing. Bit of raspberry coulis or something like that with it. Right, throw in taken. Gravenberch wins the header. And then he's dispossessed in midfield. Villa look to bring it away. They've got runners left and right. It's with Morgan Rodgers now. Strike from Ollie Watkins. And it's saved by Georgie Mamardashvili. So there, straight away, you see Liverpool turning over possession in the middle of the park. Gravenberch thinking he had a little bit more time in it than he did. Villa then drive at the Liverpool defence with Morgan Rodgers. He plays the ball inside then to Watkins. He basically turns and hits it on the swivel first time. Doesn't get a strong connection. So it was a relatively straightforward save for Georgie to make. Bakewell tart's legit as well. A warm Bakewell tart. Right, ladies and gents, we are coming up towards 2 minutes, so I will sync up now. It is 2 minutes and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Villa on the attack again with Watkins. Ball back inside to Lindelof. Tielemans, he moves it across left side to Luca Digne. And now it's back with Villa centre-backs. Hey Brian, how are we, dude? Cheers, love to you, the family, and the AA family. I haven't mentioned anything, Brian, because I didn't want... It's not my place to speak publicly about private affairs, but you know, our family send their love, my man, and we're here if you need anything. And thank you for dropping in, but do give Vern a hug for me as well. And we'll see you guys hopefully later on in the year. Love to you, my friend. It's been all Villa here in the opening 3 minutes. And thank you, Brian. If there's anything you need, man, you know, just ask. But Sabrina and the kids send their love as well. Right, Kirkes, left side for Liverpool to Rio. Rio cuts in field, gets away from Matty Cash. Drifting across from left to right, plays it into Curtis Jones. Jones now to Canade. Will, hey Craig, here as always, much love. Thank you, Will. Appreciate you, my man. Great to have you in. And thank you for 19 months as a member. Absolute legend. Gravenberch, Canade. This is my second to last game using the green screen as well before we move into the real studio. So I'm getting a bit emotional thinking about that as well, because we built a channel from this corner of the living room. And of course, Connor from his little bedroom office as well. It's we've come a long way. We should take that song in there somewhere. Lindelof now. Back to Konza. He goes back to Emi Martinez. Itachi said, we're going to lose, right? I've no idea what to expect. Certainly Villa started the brighter anyway, but still scoreless at the minute. Ball out to Lucas Digne. He plays it in looking for Watkins. Van Dijk nudges into him, and that ricochets the ball away from Watkins to Alexis McAllister. He plays it now to Rio. Rio, that's a foul, surely, referee. Tries to, yeah, it is. Rio tries to go in the middle of the two of them. He's pulled back, and Chris Kavanagh blows the whistle for a Liverpool free kick. Billy Beckner said, hey Craig and everybody, let's go Reds, WFM. Thank you, Billy, for 6 months with us as well as a member. 10 months of this amazing community for Leona Farrell as well. Thank you, Leona, and hope the Leave Insert stuff has gone well for you as well, my friend. Ben said, love to see you again, Craig, and love the lives. Appreciate you, man. Right back at you, Ben. Appreciate you and your support as well, sir. Really do. Our community is awesome, and I love each and every one of you more than you'll ever know. And I mean that sincerely. These aren't empty words. This community is everything. Outside of my family, it is what I live for. Rio. Ball played down the line. Kirkes does well. Early cross in from him. Headed away by Digne. Good work there, though, down the left-hand side. And I like today that we've seen, I think I'm right in saying for the first time, Kirkes and Rio both start together down the left-hand side. It is a little nod and look to the future, so it's interesting to keep an eye on how they get on today and how that relationship blossoms. I hope the new studio video opens with slot sack news. I don't know what the first video in there is going to be. Yeah, maybe just a tour of it or something, but I have to think about the builder's coming on Sunday and we're going to be putting up all the memorabilia and stuff, so I'm hoping after that we're pretty much good to go to start of June in there. We've so much going on behind the scenes right now. Ball in, Villa hook it away. It was a ball played in the right-hand side from Soboslai, the Villa hook away. We've so much going on at the minute behind the scenes as we try to build out Anfield Agenda to give you guys more options. Can't tell you what it is yet, but we're about to expand quite a bit over the next few months. We've had some exciting meetings this week with lots of different people. I hope the new studio opens with the slot sack video. I've already done that one. And thank you, my friend. Villa now, bringing it out. Ball played infield to Buendia. He goes up the line looking for Watkins. Virgil's there with him. Watkins goes past Virgil inside and thankfully leans back, but he went past Virgil way too easy. Oh, Watkins is injured. This is not good news for Villa. Ball was slipped in on the left. Virgil comes across to Watkins. Watkins then cuts inside. And Virgil did that usual thing of putting a hand out to push him as he was shooting, and Watkins falls back and looks like he's hurt himself. He does that all the time, Virgil, and it's fucking lazy because it's shit defending. He does that so often it annoys me. He waits for them to shoot and then pushes them. And now it looks like Watkins could have an injury down to that. Hoping for the best, but expecting the worst, said Itachi. How's your game ahead of mine when I'm watching on Sky Sports? Are you watching, George, just out of curiosity, mate, are you watching on a Sky Q or a streaming part? Because I used to use a Sky Q TV, a Sky Glass TV, excuse me, and I had to change it because of the delay. It was ruining the watch along, so we went back to the satellite dish. So if you're streaming through Sky, there is a delay. But if you're on the TV, I don't know. Scout Stewart, welcome to Anfield Agenda FC, my man. Appreciate you. I'm Whedon said it's also a foul when he does it. It is, but he gets away with it all the time. So does Canade. Watch this replay. Virgil hands straight into the chest and pushes him back. And he does it all the time because he's slowing down. Andy said, didn't even know we were gonna play tonight. It was supposed to be Sunday initially, mate, but Villa getting to the Europa League final meant the game was moved to the Friday night. Craig, love to see you and Connor do a live stream. It's not going to happen. Emmett, I've always said it. I've never hidden away from it. It's happened once or twice, he's been in the background, but I don't share them. They're mine. The live streams are mine. This is and I'm very selfish about that, but you're my audience. That's the way I look at it. And I'm not sharing you with anybody. And I make no apologies for it. Yeah. So you'll get plenty of Connor content, and he's doing brilliant. I'm so proud of him this season, the way he's been putting the extra bits out and growing into it. But I don't share my live streams. They're mine. Oh, Georgie out of his goal. Georgie's in no man's land. Ball played in. And he's just about got back into goal. This is messy, boys. McGinn. Gets to the byline. McGinn now puts in a cross deep. Nobody there. Jones too on the far side. Lads, we're a mess. We're a mess right now. And Villa have a free kick on the edge of the Liverpool box for one of those challenges where Buendia gets his foot across the front of the ball before Gomez finishes his challenge, and it is a foul. Chad. Hey Craig, hope all is well. Can we just get one win? Is that asking too much? I don't know if you see my reply, Chad, to your email. I replied a little bit earlier on, mate, when I got up. But yeah, I'd like a win as well, because it would put to bed any nerves on the last day of the season. And I don't want to. I want to enjoy the last day for it being Robbo's farewell, Salah's farewell. I don't want to have to worry about the result as well. Right. So Villa over this free kick. 12 minutes on the clock. It's the very far side of the Liverpool penalty area. They go back to try work a shooting position. Shot comes then. It's blocked. You could see what they were doing there a mile off, by the way. Emi Martinez plays a ball straight to Curtis Jones. He slips but manages to keep possession. Well done, Curtis. Out to Rio. Back to Kirkes. Jones. To Virgil. Back into Curtis Jones. He tries an outside of the football. Looking for Gakpo, but it went straight to Konza. Now to Emi Martinez. Emmett said, "Love your honesty." I don't know what it is, mate, but I find when there's two people on a stream, a live stream, it makes me feel guilty because I can't be as interactive as I'd want to be, and I spend most of my time stressing that I'm missing comments or super chat. So I just find it way easier to do it on my own, and I enjoy doing them on my own as well. McGinn to Cash. Villa trying to work down Liverpool's left-hand side. Lindelof inside to Tielemans. He treads the ball through that. Again, there's no communication between Virgil and Georgie, which forces Virgil into a hurried clearance, which goes out for a Villa throw. And again, he doesn't look happy. Gakpo's not a striker, clueless and not creative. Yeah, look, I understand why he's playing Gakpo as a striker. I mean, I do understand it, as much as I agree with you. In this instance, I guess it's him or Will Wright. But whenever there is that question, I guess, posed about Arna, he always goes for a senior player out of position against a young player in their natural position, which again wouldn't fill you full of confidence if you were a young player in this Liverpool setup. Jaden, you're testing. Your comments are coming through, Jaden. If that's what you're testing, my man, they're definitely coming through. Something. Happy birthday, Jack. Jack, have you got a birthday? Happy birthday, Jack. Hope you have a wonderful day, my friend. Right, Virgil. Inside the Liverpool half, left-hand side. Across the Canade. So far, Liverpool have had 0 shots, 1 touch in the opposition penalty area and 55% of the ball. Villa 3 shots, 5 touches in the opposition penalty area, 45% of the ball. Kermit tried to say you don't know what you're doing. In a 6-word sentence, you've managed to... Well, technically, you've managed to misspell 3 words, if I'm being a dickhead about the nothing between the N and the T and don't. But, you know, not bad, mate. You got just over half it right in a 6-word sentence. Well done. It's better than some of the trolling we get. And if it's aimed at Slot, you're right. If it's aimed at me, refer to the earlier comment. Cash, McGinn. Do you just wait to just go outside the door just to make all the noise? My wife's outside the door making noise. The whole rest of the house, but she stands outside the door I'm working in to make noise. I could, but I can't. Your presence just makes me so happy that if I'm within touching distance and I can't give you a hug, it makes me sad. I rescued that one there. Slow and slower, Craig. This is killing me. You sound like Sabrina. Sorry, Paula. I couldn't resist a bit of banter there. Slower. Craig, this is killing me. Absolutely. Could be my wife talking to me. If we put it, is it in yet? Hi, kids. Free kick to Liverpool, halfway inside the Villa half. Maka over it. Gomez. Ball over the top for Rio. Oh, good control, unlucky. He cuts back inside then, but Digne got back around and got a challenge in. It's all right, though, because the data shows that I'm an amazing husband, doesn't it, Sabrina? You know, we can all use data for whatever we want. The data in this house shows that I'm an amazing husband and father. Despite the eye test and everything else. Kirkes now. Not much options from, so he goes back to Gravenberch. Do you ever see a future where Liverpool plays a striker? If one of them can stay fit, yeah, maybe. Do you mean two strikers? I don't think we'll ever go to two strikers. As in like a 4-4-2 type formation, but you might have two strikers on the pitch at the same time if one of them maybe is playing left or something. So I've said all of those things and Liverpool still haven't progressed any further up the pitch. Here we go. Eventually, left side. And eventually Rio runs out of pitch, gets tripped, referee says nothing doing. More frustration out there on the pitch. Rio a bit frustrated with the referees, lack of giving a free kick. And then Villa just give us a throw in straight back. Cash throws the ball stupidly towards the centre back, Lindelof. He's being closed down, so he just boots it straight out for a Liverpool throw in. Kirkes now goes up the line looking for Rio. Rio back inside to Maka. Across to Gomez. Shoot! Shoot is the cry, which he does. And then unfortunately he was leaning back. He slipped as he took the shot. And it sails harmlessly over Emi Martinez's crossbar. His trailing leg there, Joe's just went from under him as he was making contact with the ball. Emi goes long with his clearance. Canade uses his strength to see that one out. It'll be a Liverpool throw-in. He was in a bit of a battle there with Watkins, but did enough to see it out for a Liverpool throw, which Gomez will take. Throws it straight to Lindelof. Gakpo now to Szoboszlai. He's fouled. Free kick to Liverpool. Halfway inside the Aston Villa half, right-hand side. Brian, you're a numbers man. Your whole career has been on data, Brian, and studying it. Would you say, Brian, as a numbers person, that the likelihood is that the data that they're looking at is fundamentally flawed because it isn't taking into account a lot of immeasurables like fan sentiment, goodwill, and the shite we're looking at with our own eyes? You go now? Cool. See you later. Love you. Kirkes over to Szoboszlai. Brian said, let's call a spade a spade. This isn't football this club should be playing. No, you're right, mate. It isn't. And even like at that, just even the brand of football is dire to watch. Ooh. Liverpool looking for a penalty here. Referee seems unmoved at the minute. There was a bit of a coming together in the 18-yard box. Kirkes now needs to wait for people to get back into position to give him an option. Wouldn't mind seeing a replay of that. But you're right, Brian. And that's something I can't get my head around either. Like, there's so many things that are so far removed from the things we were told we were going to get that I'm baffled. Let's have a look here. Not that one. I think it's the second one that's more of a penalty to me. This next one. But nothing doing. And we're back underway. And like this, he wants to win us back. There is no winning us back. That's the part that they can't get their head around. They're preying on people forgetting after a few good signings if they make some, and maybe they're hoping for a good start to next season. They're not really taking account of how strong the sentiment is against the style he's playing. Has anybody spotted the Chuckle Brothers? Not yet, no. I haven't seen any images yet to say they are or aren't there. It will be really interesting to see if there's any credibility to that Boston flight. So there's Harvey Elliott. Unfortunately stuck up in the stands. Wouldn't have been able to play anyway. But yeah, another brilliant decision from the Chuckle Brothers. You know, the numbers guys. I don't know if someone's explained this, but the 15 or 20 million pound they might get for Elliott now, you know, me not being a numbers guy, but to the best of my understanding, 15 or 20 million is less than 35 million, which was the deal that they made a mess of. So costing 15 to 20 million quid on top of the money they've wasted for Chiesa. It's just brilliant. They're so clever. It's so, like, I wish I could make 25 million quid or 30 million quid disappear like that and get credit for it. Brilliant. Brian said they seem to be acting like petulant children whose egos are bruised. Yep. That's exactly how I feel. That they're so insecure. They don't want their reputations tarnished with a failure, that they're just going to make us stick through it. Can't stand the thought of another season under Slot. Can see a lot of our players leaving if this continues. Might stop watching footy altogether. Well, we know for a fact Salah's leaving and Robbo's leaving. So that's what we know categorically. Canade, it's touch and go. Don't think anybody really knows that. Alisson definitely looks like it's trending towards him going. Jones, maybe the same. Chiesa will go. But, you know, it's okay, though, because we'll be able to knit another 7 or 8 players in seamlessly. Because Arna knows. He told us. He knows. He's got it. They know exactly what's wrong. So, you know, you can be safe in the knowledge of that. That with another 6 or 7 new signings will be grand, even though we couldn't knit 5 of them together this year. But, you know. They still pass the ball to Georgie's right foot. Yeah, they need to cop on and like start giving them the ball on the stronger side. That's something you're spot on, mate. It's almost laughable at this point that it's still there. Gravenberch to Rio. Rio goes back to Gravenberch. Strike. Emi Martinez spills it. 1-0 Liverpool. Flag goes up against Gakpo. That, by the way, is why Emi Martinez is overhyped trash. This nonsense that Emi Martinez is one of the best goalkeepers in the world is a complete fallacy. Look at this. He should be saving that with one hand nearly, and he still spills it. Offside is given and confirmed. Jack said, slow, monotonous, boring, always go back side to side. This brand of football losing interest. Don't worry though, Jack. Another 6 or 7 Dutch players will be good to go. Save the Flavour said, so Liver Slot is playing shite. Major shocker. Mr. H and Friend said, Slot has ripped the heart out of this team. So can I add to that? He's also ripped the balls off this team. Like, wait and you see the backlash if Alonso goes to Chelsea and we fail. It's going to be, I don't know. Sometimes I just don't understand who advises our club on the PR side of things, because the amount of stuff they've gotten blatantly wrong in the last 5 to 10 years is comical. The biggest mistake for me, letting Kelleher leave. It certainly is a confusing one, James, to wonder why they seemingly didn't think he could become the number one. I understand the side of it that he wants to go play football. I get that. But I would prefer Kelleher over Georgie, personally. Now, I could be biased in that because I'm Irish. But to go from having one of the strongest goalkeeping departments in the world to hypothetically losing Alisson, having Georgie and having to bring in a number 2, it does feel like, again, it's at least another roll of the dice. Rio goes around the outside of Cash, cuts back inside, still Rio, trying to do it all himself because he hasn't got many options. Back to Jones. Jones tries a little dink over the top, and it goes straight behind for a goal kick to Villa. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. Walter White, thank you. If Hughes and Edwards captain Titanic, they'd say the iceberg was statistically insignificant and the water level was rising with the expected margins. Yeah, that sounds about right. Like, everything that we're hearing is expecting us to take a leap of faith, even though what we're seeing with our own eyes clearly shows us that that leap of faith is too much to take. Like, if we were seeing things this year that had patterns of play that were exciting, and there were individual mistakes or even overly aggressive mistakes in the team that you could see the imbalance, I'd feel so much calmer about it. But there's so many things that are all trending in the wrong direction. That a great strike from Szoboszlai from distance, which has Emi Martinez scrambling across and makes a save. But that's what we're resorting to here. Look, 45-yard strikes from Dom, which, you know, had movement on it, but was definitely a camera save there from Emi Martinez. Mistakes you could understand. Like, if he was trying to get them to play in a way that they weren't used to. But you would still expect that to get better as the season goes on. And that's the argument here, is the play hasn't gotten better. Right, corner kick. We go short with it. Maka now. He goes back to Szoboszlai. He puts one in deep, headed behind for a Liverpool corner on the far side. Theo said, I'm so tired of Gakpo being offside. Same versus Chelsea. I feel your pain, my man. I do. Well, here we go. Crowded 6-yard box time. 3 biggest Liverpool players all around the goalkeeper. Canada already wrestling with Digne. Fuck me. Free kick in. And Liverpool get a header at the near post and it goes over the bar. McAllister is angry. Let's have a look. I mean, it was a difficult header. He had to kind of feather it and just try and flick it. But, yeah, unfortunately, that one came to nothing. Well done, Maka, though. He gets his head on a fair amount of chances for such a small fella. Why does this happen every single time we change kits? I don't know. Yeah, there's definitely been some weird patterns with certain kits over the years, all right. The funniest one ever, though, was the United one where they changed at half-time, the grey flecky shirts, because they said they couldn't see each other out there. I think it was against Southampton or something. Dutch National is the perfect fit for the fraud. Full team of Dutches, and he's home daily instead of weekly. Yeah, I'll back him to take the Dutch job. Absolutely. I'll 100% start that petition and get behind it. Where is our petition at now, by the way? Joe Gomez long throw-in coming up. Just about 4.5 million. It's 15,000 short of 4.5 million. Long throw-in. Flicked on. Unlucky. Cleared away by Villa. Liverpool have had a bit of joy here in the last 10 minutes or so. Bit more territory. Bit more time in the Villa half. Georgie goes long with his clearance. Second ball played in to Gakpo. He's brushed off it by Yuri Tielemans, but wins it back. Well done, Cody. He then gets cleaned out by Buendia. I saw one Gakpo gone. He's as annoying as Slot, said Amteki. So I don't mind Gakpo as a second option on the left, but I don't think he should be a starting 11 player for us. I certainly don't get as wound up by him as many others do. But I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. I think he's fine to have as another option on the left, but I don't think he's good enough to command a starting place. And his wages are an absolute piss take. I don't know in what world they deemed he was worthy of £250,000 a week. That just seems insane. Right, Soboslai now. Ball in, cleared by Morgan Rogers. It's with McGinn, it bounces off his shoulder. Like, if I'm Dominic Soboslai's agent and I'm talking to Liverpool and I've seen the money Gravenberch and Gakpo have gotten, I'm wanting £350,000 a week, minimum. And with good reason. Ball out right side now. Jones. AP, how are you, sir? Said, could it be remotely possible for Anna to turn it around next season? His confidence is weird, to be honest. You have to say everything is possible, mate. Everything is possible. But what I don't think he's ever going to be able to turn around is the damage that's been done and the frustration that many fans have felt with how he's conducted himself post-match and excuse-wise this year. But yeah, of course, you'd have to say it's possible to turn it around. It won't, but it's possible. Look, I do think next season, whatever happens, will be somewhat better than this season. But that shouldn't be the measuring stick. You know, remember what we were supposed to get this year, which was a proper title defence, and we didn't get past the quarterfinals of a cup competition. And we're in a battle to get into the Champions League with 2 games to go. It's been an underwhelming season that doesn't deserve to be rewarded with another one, in my opinion. Emi Martinez just about gets hands on that. Second ball back in, though. Gravenberch. Back out to Jones. And when you've got, like, the two people that are responsible for making the decision, being the ones that brought him in, and their own reputations are somewhat linked to it, I can understand how they don't want to admit they were wrong on Slot, but I just don't understand how they think that the evidence paints a picture of this being going in the right direction. That I just call bullshit on. Why does it feel that Slot only came to Liverpool to win a league title and then put his stamp on it and then play boring football as he won what he wanted? I don't know, but he did win a league, and look, it's very clear that something changed halfway through the league winning season. And once that changed, we've never been the same since, and we haven't been able to get it back since. That's the only thing I can say, honestly. The second half, or especially the last 4 months of last season, was nowhere near good enough. But we'd won the league, so it was easy to kind of get past it. But I called it out then, and I'm calling it out all year again. It's not good enough, and he's not the man to lead this club. Caught late there, Kirkes. He was clearing, and Cash came in and caught him late, and that's a blatant yellow card for Matty Cash. Viagra couldn't get Slot to rise to the job. You're right, put it down, Blue. I'm going to be on the back, on the gate, watching these lot. Is the chat on slow mode? Could we turn slow mode off, Keen, if that's possible? I don't think we need slow mode on. I don't think it's busy enough. Unless there's some spamming going on that users are trying to manage. Mr. Acentina said, I pay for my hate. I hate Arne Slot. This season should have been about celebrating the older players, even in a weak year. Slot is miserable. Out. What's this one from Mark? Virgil van Dijk breaks Jamie Carragher's record for tallied minutes in the Premier League. Virgil's durability is remarkable at the age he's at. It truly is. Like, we've been so fortunate that himself and Kanade have been able to stay fit most of the season, because as bad as it's been, if they had some injuries, my God, I don't even want to think about how bad this season could have been. So yeah, Virgil being able to play those minutes at 34 is incredible. Cross in. Ooh, cleared away. Villa close there. Joe Gomez puts it out for Villa, throwing on the far side. Tim Gordon said, I tell my kids, if you admit you're wrong and move forward and correct it, you have a lot more respect from people than if you just continue doing it the wrong way. Exactly. So, Tim, sometimes, mate, all of us can be too close to something. And sometimes, like, if myself and my wife are trying to figure something out, sometimes I'd ask my daughter to come and have a fresh look at it, or, somebody else. And I feel like we're in a position where everybody inside the club is so embedded into this process that they're just looking for anything to justify keeping him. But I don't think objectively they're looking at it with clear eyes. Corner to Villa. And I really mean that. I think they're too close to it. Somebody with cold eyes should look at this situation, weigh it up, and give another perspective, because I honestly feel like at this point it is egos and insecurities that are keeping him in a job from Hughes and Edwards, because the numbers it can't show anything positive. How could it? I could sit here and list off 10 things that have been shambolic this year. Rodgers, 1-0 Villa. 1-0 Villa. Morgan Rodgers, 1-0. I don't even know what to fucking say anymore. Our defending is pathetic. Mr. Ben, thank you, mate, for the super sticker. How do you look again? A free shot, but nobody within a few yards of him. Watch this again. So they take the corner, they go short, they work it back out left side. Look at it! Look at the fucking space! Look at it! 5 yard circle around him, and there's no Liverpool player there. You could draw a circle 5 yards all around him, Morgan Rogers, and there wouldn't be a Liverpool player within the 5 yards of him. That is absolutely despicable defending. The fucking state of that. How do you get 5 yards of free space in an 18-yard box? Well, we know how with Liverpool because it happens every week. 5 yards. Like, look at him when he picks that ball up. I'm not exaggerating. You could get a protractor out and draw a circle around him. Nobody within 5 yards of him. The most dangerous player. This is a fucking piss take. Corner taken quickly said, when we support Liverpool, what are we exactly supporting? It's not the greedy millionaire players. It's certainly not Slot. I'm struggling, Craig. For me, it's the city and the people and the history of the club and what the club originally stood for and has stood for. But you are right now, corner taken quickly. It is very difficult to look at this and feel a connection when you've got a manager that you don't like, players that are underperforming and don't understand why fans are frustrated, players wanting to walk away. Exactly. Right now, that's what I said, mate. We're being gaslit by the very thing that we want to love. If the Dweebs attend the last game of the season against Brentford, it might be toxic because the fans will turn on them. I don't think they will, because the last game of the season is rightly going to be about Mo, Robbo, and paying homage to the players that deserve their respect. Honestly, I think the last day of the season is going to be rightly about saying goodbye to some legends. Lightmaster Lee said, how can it not be a view in Slot's position? Because the dweebs don't want to admit that they're wrong. It's that simple. These insecure little arseholes. Like, think about Michael Edwards. He doesn't want anyone to challenge authority. So he doesn't want Alonso, because Alonso will immediately command respect from the Liverpool fans. He butted heads with Klopp because Klopp wanted more power. And now he's put in a failing puppet of a manager that's his guy and he has to stick with him because he won't admit that he's wrong. They brief their friends in the media to gaslight Liverpool fans by telling us they're sticking with this manager despite all the evidence to the contrary. Anybody that's not attached to our club that looks at it objectively says things like Ian Ladyman, who said, if he's there past November next year, it'll be more of a surprise. Melissa Reddy writing pieces suggesting exactly what we'd all been saying. And this is what we have to put up with. These absolute spoofers stealing millions as a living, failing fucking miserably. And again, FSG are nowhere to be found. Russ said, sack this fraud, please. Don't be stupid, Russ. This will only be number 19, mate. It's not like we've lost 20 games. This is only going to be lost number 19. So, before anybody has a pop at Managerial about the goal, if you want to have a moan about the goal, moan at your defence. Because how somebody has 5 yards of free space all around them inside the 18-yard box from a corner is a disgrace. So I don't think we can be looking at blaming Georgie Mamardashvili on anything to do with the goal. The defending is pathetic. I don't think it is 20 defeats, folks. I don't count the Community Shield because 1, we lost on penalties, and 2, I just don't count that as anything other than a very good way to raise money for much needed charities. But again, others do, and that I get it. I understand that. The others count it. For me, I just don't. FSG can't ignore this, can they? Surely FSG will have to see when we lose these last two, this isn't okay. It feels like that's the only thing that ever makes these clowns listen, is when it hits their bottom line and the Champions League money doesn't arrive. Because to say that it's okay if you scrape into the Champions League, but 1 point either way in the opposite direction, it wouldn't be. They're just making this shit up as they go along. And they're just showing us they don't want to win. And I've said this about FSG for years. They've never ever shown a real appetite to win. Not to win. They want to be in the Champions League and they want that money, of course. And if we win some things, cool. But they're not owners that do everything to win. They're owners that yet again let another season go past without making any changes to the squad when we've got real deficiencies in it. They didn't strengthen in January. They sat there and did nothing. In fact, they sat there and watched Man City sign 2 Premier League proven players who then went to win a cup and got to the final of another cup that they might win on Saturday. And are in a title race. But our brave, bold decision makers did fucking nothing except sign a player for next season. Half time. And at half time, it is Aston Villa 1, Liverpool 0. And the tanned navy wearing fucking gimp of a coach of ours slithers into the dressing room. And by the way, if Slot doesn't start shaving those sideburns, I'd give up. It's another thing I can't stand about him. He needs to get rid of the sideburns and the navy and the tan. Corbin said, how's the first half been? Wonderful. Wonderful. It's been glorious football. You know, we should be 9-1 up. No, it's not great, mate. It's not great. We had some spells where we were okay in there. More briefs incoming after the game. Love my club, no backbone, no style of play, so many mediocre players. Slot whistling on the sideline, having fun. Of course, you get 7 million quid a year for failing. Why wouldn't you be happy? Someone want to pay me 7 million quid a year to fail? And go around with them fucking ridiculous navy gear that he wears and his ridiculous sideburns that need to get gold. How many losses would that be this season? Somewhere between 19 and 20, depending on if you count the Community Shield or not. Is Gakpo on the pitch? He is. Connor said them sideburns definitely need a trim. They do, and I'm sick of telling him, Connor. No more. I'm sick of telling him about them. And look, he should be fired for wearing navy alone. Can't watch this. This channel reminds me I'm not alone. Said Danky can. Was there booing at halftime, by the way? Some people are saying there's booing. Obviously, I have the game on silent, so I don't know. I can't hear anything. You're not fit to wear the shirt being sang. Loads of booing. Wow. But you know, it's okay because the bold, brave decision makers, dweebs are us, the calculator kid and Richard Hughes, they're all right though because they've got numbers. They're sitting there with their abacus going, yep. Do you know what? Is there anything to be said for another round table, lads? Is there anything to be said for another round table? Craig, I don't know how much more I can take. Sam, the fact we're in this position is an absolute disgrace, dereliction of duty, and heads need to roll. Heads need to roll. This is pathetic that we're being subjected to this and they want us to believe for next season. Like, how can they ask that of a fan base? A fan base that are constantly told they're knowledgeable. Right? You see that and hear that all the time. Liverpool fans are a knowledgeable set of fans. So some people are saying the booing was at Keane, saying the booing was at Watkins, at the Watkins yellow, and not at the situation. So Keane reckons there wasn't booing for Liverpool side. I can't hear it, so I don't know. Fans have to make a chance to this slot. But the horrible part about that, Sean, is nobody wants to do that. And they're right. Like, when we've seen so many things that Liverpool fans don't do being done, including leaving early and booing, and they don't think, like, I know, and anybody who watches Liverpool knows, that to get Liverpool fans to that point is breaking point. It takes an awful lot for fans that go to Anfield to get to that level. And they've done that this season. And to keep ignoring that, I don't know what other type of response they expect to get. But don't worry, the dweebs and the calculator kid know what they're doing, said Kian. Yeah, data. Just say the word data. If they throw an AI as well, oh, they've got blank checks then. If they just go into John and go, John, data and AI. We've got it, John, for next season. AI manager. We've got it, John. Hey, Greg, what's this AI shit I'm hearing, Greg? Can we get rid of Arna, Greg? Can we put a hologram? Can we clone Jurgen, Greg? And can we get a Jurgen that has no responsibility, Craig? I'm tired, Craig. I've no strength left for this. Nessie, I'm bleeding starving. I'm watching this as a Liverpool fan on Wegovy, dying for food, starving my fat arse off, being served up this dross. You watch Slot on the microphone at the end of the season at Anfield just to rub in the pain just that little bit more. Please just give him his P45. I agree, Eddie. Sorry, I don't look. I know my John W. Henry accent's awful, but it's all I got, folks. It's all I got. I'm not an impressions guy, but it's all, I have to do something. Like, if I don't make myself laugh, I'm going to cry at this point. Like, I've got no goodwill left in me towards Slot, Hughes, and Edwards at this point on FSG. So if I don't have stupid impressions or something to make myself laugh, I'm just going to end up crying on here. If Bournemouth beat City at home midweek, big problems, but took the most gimme Champions League finish in history and potentially took it to the final day. So, yeah, look, to think about that, right, we had a run-in that I looked at and thought, oh, shit, this run-in's going to be tough. And the way it's panned out for us, it's like the tough run-in became easier. So we had a United team that haven't been all that, but they still beat us. You had a Chelsea team that are on their knees, had scored 1 goal in 9.5 hours, but still managed to come and get something from us. You have a Villa team massively distracted by the Europa League final, and we still can't get it done. And we're still making a meal out of it. So just a normal, glorious slot ball. Yeah. But he's seen some things he likes, some good, some bad. And we've been unlucky, unprecedented season. Yeah, it's been unprecedented because the manager's been shite. That's why it's been unprecedented. The fact that it's been an unprecedented season and you're trying to use that as a plus to justify keeping him. The unprecedented nature of the season has been how bad it's been. How bad the numbers have been. How bad the play has been. How bad his training has been. How bad the recruitment has been. So all the things that they're trying to say are reasons to keep him, are reasons to fire all of them. Give me Europa League if it means he's out, said Timothy. It's horrible to even think that, Timothy, isn't it, mate? It's horrible. Like, we've made such a hard work of this. Like, we read something out the other day, and somebody, let me see if I still have it in my notes, because I think this gives you a context that even if he gets Champions League, it's the worst Champions League qualification in 20 years. Let me read this out to you. 1 second. I've just got to scroll back a few days through my notes. 1 sec. Where the hell is it? I can't find it here. Basically, if we got to 65 points, which we won't if we lose this, but if we did, the only qualification in fourth place for Champions League that had 66 points or less was 20 years ago, or more, 21 years ago. And he's about to stumble into it if he does with maybe 62. It's shocking. Like, it shouldn't even be a debate. This lad should be gone. Chad said, I just don't get it. When Villa has everybody back, there's nowhere to go. When Liverpool have everybody back, there's holes everywhere, every game. Yep. How many times have you guys, regular viewers of the channel, how many times this season have you heard me talk about players getting 5 yards of space inside our 18-yard box from set pieces? I've said it over and over again. And Villa's goal today, exact same. Morgan Rogers picks up the ball and he could have had a 5-yard force field around all of them. There was no Liverpool player within 5 yards of him. And he scores. We can't defend. We don't stay switched on. We're poorly coached. I've said it multiple times this season about the space that we're giving away. Victor, thank you, my man. So look, I have a favour to ask. If you can, ladies and gentlemen, please do subscribe to the Anfield Agenda Clips channel. There's 8,300 people in the chat now. This channel, Anfield Agenda Clips, is going to become Anfield Agenda Extra. We have 2 new hosts that are going to be doing videos on there next season. Connor's going to be doing a bit more on there. I'm going to be doing non-Liverpool stuff, but from a Liverpool perspective on there. So let's say transfers, I'll be discussing them from a Liverpool fan's opinion and stuff like that. If you can, search Anfield Agenda Clips, give it a sub. We're trying to grow it towards 100,000. It's just about at 60, and it really would mean the world to us, and give the lads a great platform to kick on next season as well. We're going to be doubling up our podcast offerings for you next year. We're going to have extra podcasts every week, new faces on board, obviously a new studio, and lots of new stuff to hopefully give you guys a bit of variation on the Liverpool content that we give you. Darren, how are you, mate? Said, is Slot definitely staying, Craig? I hope not. I don't think anybody can use the word definitely in any angle here, in or out. But look, here's where I am with it. I'm hoping that what's been spoken about, the end of season review, I'm hoping that that is done honestly. And if the assessment is done honestly, and they don't look at it with wanting him to stay as trying to find a way to make that happen, but trying to look at it objectively. I can't see how anybody can run through those numbers. The amount of records broken in the wrong direction this year. The performances, the nights of like the 4-1 defeat to PSV Eindhoven. 3 games in a row, we've lost by 3 goals or more. On track for 19 or 20 defeats this season. We've scored in the first half now 5 times in the last 21 games. We've conceded, if you count that as a set piece goal number 19 of the season. All of this paints a very clear picture. Add into that a petition that 4.5 million people have clicked on to get rid of the manager. The sentiment that you can see all across social media and in the real world. And you really are struggling to find a way to think that this makes any sense. It doesn't. And I'm trying to be objective about that. How can you say with a straight face that this is going to be fixed? Honestly, if Slot talks on next Sunday, the cop should do one when Dominic Mysterio gets on the mic and we just boo when he's talking. Christian said, how much more of this have we got to watch before they get rid of this manager? Players deserve everything. The fans just give them a half-time too. Look, I hate moaning at the players. I hate it. I don't want to be moaning at them because I do think they will be better with somebody else. Now, they don't get a free pass, of course. They've been responsible for as much of the failures this year as anybody else. But you can't go in there and change 16 players. And you also have to ask, how did the players that were so good for so long all of a sudden become shadows of themselves? How do we go into next season with this? Losing the will? I don't know, Chris. I really don't know, my friend. I hope we don't have to, mate. That's all I can say. Gakpo's more effective on the wing than central, said John Reed. I agree, John, but I just don't think we don't really have an option. Unless he wants to give Will Wright a run, which I wouldn't be against having a look at, to be honest. But like I keep saying, every time he has a decision about whether to play a senior player out of position or give a youngster a chance, almost always ends up going with playing a senior player out of position. Babo Shadow said, I've seen enough, Craig. Please cheer me up, man. I wish I could. We're about to get underway with the second half. Villa about to kick off. And we're underway. So just a reminder, Liverpool trail by a 1-0. Morgan Rogers with the goal. I'm down for AI. Hologram Shankly as the next HC, head coach, said Arthur Smith. Gabriel said, I don't understand how he keeps his job. Can you imagine any other big club allowing this mediocrity? It's been a whole season. This is not a blip in form. Much love from Australia, Craig. You keep us sane. Thanks, mate. Appreciate you, Gabriel, excuse me. And you're not wrong, mate. Like, if this was United, we'd be in stitches at this. And rightly so. And we'd be praying they kept him for the next season. I'm with you, mate. I don't understand it. I don't understand how there's any credibility to keeping him. Slot to go now. He can take his little boy Gakpo too, said Mark. No, yeah, but don't worry. The Dutch players have been rewarded already with huge new contracts of £250,000 and £270,000 a week. So, you know, don't worry. And there'll be a few more coming in by the looks of it if Slot gets his way. Verbruggen being looked at, Van de Ven being looked at, Dumfries being looked at. What's the dude who Gertruda being looked at? Don't worry, we'll be changing the kit colour to orange in a season when Arna's still here and we've got the Dutch national team. I think the fans should really pay off his contract. I honestly think we could do it as well. Connor, I genuinely think we could do it. Like, if you said to me they need to raise 8 million quid, I bet you we could raise the 8 million quid. I bet you we could. I bet you if everybody got on board with that and everyone threw in a couple of quid, we'd raise that money. No changes from Liverpool at half-time anyway. Villa try a ball in behind Joe Gomez, but Georgie comes out edge of his box and claims it. Never been so disgusted. Did the data team not realise how bad this goalkeeper is? Can't catch, distribute, and want to tell us next Alisson. So when we signed him, Bashir, and look, I'm not saying he's good enough or isn't good enough yet. I don't think we've seen enough. But what I don't understand is anybody who signed Georgie that thought he was going to be a good distributor of the ball is misplaced. I didn't know whether maybe there's a trend changing that the ball-playing goalkeepers are going out of vogue a bit. If you look at Donnarumma at City, and then you look at the likes of Mamardashvili coming into us, the bigger physical presence of a keeper, even Emi Martinez there at Villa. I wondered, was it maybe changing? But to then see the likes of James Pearce and others moaning about distribution from a goalkeeper that anybody with even a cursory knowledge of him would have known that he isn't a goalkeeper for distribution, it just baffles me. Watkins now gets away from Gomez, plays it out to McGinn. McGinn goes out right side. Villa on the attack again. Well done, Ryan Gravenberch. Steps in and wins it back for Liverpool. Gakpo now. Out to Gomez. Back to Maka. Cross to Jones. Villa have gotten back into shape though. Virgil. Out to Rio. Rio bursts into the penalty area, overruns it though. Did that not get given as outplay? Wow, still on. They've allowed that to play on. Liverpool's shot was blocked. Looked to me like that went out of play, but we're still playing on. Peter said, genuine question. If a season like this does not lead to a sacking from the manager, Liverpool Football Club, what will? Everything is genuinely shy. I don't know, Peter. And you think they'd have learned that lesson with Rodgers? Well, they also got conned by a spoofer. And they let that go, and then that seeped into the next season, and of course he was gone. And it'll be the same here. But yeah, seemingly it's fine. I don't get it, mate. None of us, Peter, have a rational answer. That ball looked out to me. Brighton is the biggest threat. 2 easy games left with United locked into third. Bournemouth plays City. Yeah, look, this is a genuine nervy time. Like, if we don't get something out of this game, the last game of the season is going to be... It should have been a celebration. It should have been a festival of celebrating the lads, and the results shouldn't have mattered. But now, like this, we'll probably go into having to get something, and it'll become a nervier affair than it should have been. It's all right, though, because Arne will have a little tan. He'll be fine. A few hours in the sunbed to be all grand. Same shit, different day. What the journalists spin this, telling us we watched something we didn't. That they've been trying to say that to us all year. At least, to be fair to David Lynch, at least he's, been forthcoming with the criticism and saying that he thinks the manager should probably go. And I do respect that. At least he's come out and said it. The others that are trying to say that he deserves to stay on, I don't know what they're looking at. I haven't synced up Ninja Tales. 1 sec, mate. Let me just get this free kick out of the way and I will do that one for you. Szoboszlai over the free kick. There was a shirt tug which gave us this free kick. Halfway inside the Villa half, right-hand side. Deep ball. Virgil 1-1. Gets in. Lovely goal, Virgil. Szoboszlai, ball to the back post. Virgil heads it straight into the corner. Oh, hang on. I don't know what's going on here, but did the flag go up in the end? Surely that stands. He looks onside to me, but he's onside. He's definitely onside. This goal will stand. He's onside. 1-1. What are they waiting for? How? Like, that shouldn't need more than half a second here. What's going on? Goal, yes, goal given. I don't know what the fuck they were looking at, but goal given. 1-1. Don't know why that took so long for them to come up with that decision. It was pretty clear with one look at it that he was on. The only logical conclusion I can make is that Slot had nothing to do with his recruitment, and that's why he's still in the job. Hughes and Edwards out. Yeah, if that's the case, they should all be out. But we are back 1-1 here. Hopefully we can go on and pinch a winner and then make the last game of the season redundant. Lovely delivery and a great header from Virgil. So well done to the boys on a good set-piece goal. Great ball in from Dom. It always amazes me the amount of teams who almost are surprised that the big man comes in as a back post. But well done, Virgil. A great header and a great delivery from Dom. Is Gakpo our new Darwin? He's always offside. Don't sleep on Brighton. They could catch you. Well, to be fair to you, you did put that in before the equaliser, Medusa, so... not another penny until Slot is gone. Buy my jersey from DH Gate this year and have donated my £85 to Centrepoint Homeless Charity. Grow a pair FSG. Appreciate the gesture that you've done there, mate. It really is class. Yeah, I get it. They're not getting a penny from me this season either. He's offside by a mile. Yeah, Watkins a mile offside. Flag's gone up as well. We're all just wasting time here. The flag went up straight away. I don't know why he was even allowed to put that ball in the net. He was 3 yards offside. But again, look how open we are. If he was half a step back inside his own half there, we'd have been cleaned out again. Watkins being a bit lazy with the line he held there, kept this score at 1-1. No anger, just sadness. Hurts man, said Tom. Hey Craig, I'm really scared about next season, said Rajat. I don't blame you, dude. Oh, Rio's hit the post. And then Gakpo misses on the follow-up. It did come at him quickly. Oh, unlucky Rio. Rio cuts inside, gets a shot away, hits the post, comes back to Gakpo, and look, to be fair to him, it came at him really, really quickly, and he didn't have time to adjust his body or anything, but unlucky from Rio. He had Emi Martinez beaten, hands up. Unlucky. Great play there from Rio. That Rodgers goal has made my day. Love a Man U fan. Well, the equaliser probably ruined your day a bit then. Not convinced with this keeper. I'm not sure on the keeper yet, mate. I'm not ready one way or the other to make a definitive decision on it. But I can understand your cautiousness. 2-1 Villa. We've collapsed again. 2-1 Villa. 2-1. 2-1 Villa. We were level for a few minutes, but we found a way to shoot ourselves in the foot again with some absolutely gobshitery of the highest order again. The spoofologists have managed to conduct another masterclass in stupidity, but Ollie Watkins, 2-1. Yeah, USA fan, can't stand the crying after everything. I don't know what you mean, Brett. I don't know what you mean by can't stand the crying after everything. If you're unhappy with me, sorry, I can only act how I feel, mate. I appreciate you being here, Brett. And that's unlucky. Szoboszlai slipped. Yeah, he slips. Yeah, he slips. Adrian said 50 years a fan, slow low after this. Look, I feel for Dom there. Nearly 3-1. They're straight in and goal again. And it's almost 3-1, but thankfully it isn't. Fucking hell. What are we looking at? And it comes from Gravenberch giving the ball away. He was given a heavy pass, but then the ball's played to Buendia into Watkins. And a good save from Georgie as Watkins tries to dink it over him. The ball then hits Georgie. Look at Virgil again. Virgil needs to fuck off pushing people when they're about to shoot. Because someone's going to some referee one day is going to say, nah, penalty. Villa on the attack again now. Free kick out. Hopefully Slot stays so Carrick can batter him, said Ava. Ava, the fact that a bang average United team did a double over us this season, mate, frustrates me. Do you think that Trent saw this coming? Don't know, Mohammed. I really don't know, bro. Eco Trailblazer said, not giving Fede minutes in games and ignoring him has come back to bite Slot in the arse. With match rhythm, we might have had a reasonable striker playing. Fair point. Yeah, fair point. He just hasn't. And that's what frustrates me even more, like, because this is, like, over the course of the 2 years he's been there, that's 14 million quid in wages, plus the transfer fee, for a player that the manager clearly doesn't want. Throw into that the mess with the Elliott situation, how much money that's. How much money have these clowns cost FSG with their failures and their stupid decision making? And then you've got to throw in the Kelleher situation and how stupid that now looks. It feels like Hughes and Edwards are trying to save their own jobs as much as they are his. Soboslai trying to burst his way through there. You can see he's trying to make up for... I won't even call it an error because it was just an accident. And yeah, I fell for Dom in that moment. I didn't initially see that he'd slipped. I just looked up to see the Villa player coming away from one of our players with the ball, but when I seen the replay, you can see it was a slip from Soboslai. Watkins should have gotten a second yellow, said Chasing Vlogs. Folks, if you can, please do hit that subscribe button for me, by the way. There's over 8,000 people in the chat now. Appreciate you guys being here. Even if it is to banter us, I appreciate you coming in. If you have a second, please do hit that subscribe button for me. It really does mean the world to us. Rio Bright Spark yet again. He'll be hooked in 5 minutes. Yeah, he's so unfortunate not to have put us 2-1 up. It was a really good strike from Rio that had Emmy beaten, but it hit the post. 61.5 minutes on the clock. Gomez comes in with a late foul now. The frustration's creeping in and he gets a yellow card. Super Scarlet Spider said, since the first 10 minutes I saw this field is awful. We shouldn't lose, but both teams have been slipping all game. Definitely a fair point on the pitch cutting up a bit. You know, it affects both teams equally, but it is a fair point, mate. I have seen a lot of players losing their footing out there. Mackie 181, thank you, bro, for gifting 5 memberships. Really kind of you, sir. And thank you to everyone who's hitting the subscribe button as well. Really does mean a lot, folks. Thank you. What are these ones? That's nothing, so I can delete that. Balls with Emmy Martinez now. No press yet from Liverpool. Canade in a bit of a battle with Watkins. That ref says both of them were as bad as each other. So let's play on. Ball goes out then on the far side for Liverpool throw-in. Medusa Cascade said, I feel like I've gone back 10 or 15 years. The Hodgson Rodgers are back in charge. At least then, Medusa, as a Liverpool fan, I looked at it and realised we had limitations. We had limitations financially, we had limitations with the squad we had, and limitations in the appeal outside of the history of the club. Now, it's worse in my opinion, because we've seen a huge spend in transfer fees. We've seen big contracts again given out. And we've gone from winning the league to this in a year. Corner to Liverpool. Well done. You can see Dom is on a mission to try and get something from this, and fair play to him. Right, Converge will pull another header out. Cross in. Ooh, unlucky. It was a Gakpo. We got a glancing header on it, but Villa clear their lines. It's the Buendia. Now, Villa get on with a free kick quickly. Play Rodgers in on the right-hand side. Liverpool have to be aware here. Awake. Ball into Watkins. Well done, Georgie. Comes out, smothers it. Again, cut open easily, and that could have been 3-1. Good save, Georgie. That's 2 saves he's made that I hope he gets the credit for, because this could have been out of sight now if Georgie hadn't made both those saves. One from Watkins and then that one there. A friend of mine passed last weekend. Last game he watched was us against Chelsea. Pisses me off beyond belief knowing he died watching this slot shite. I'm sorry, Christian, for your friend's passing. Sending our condolences and love, my friend. Yeah, really, really mean that, Christian. Sending our love. Sly. I mean, good banter, mate, to be fair. But look, if there's any player out there I've got sympathy for in that situation, it's definitely Sly. He's put a shift in this season, and he doesn't deserve the state of what we're playing. He deserves better. Ava said, "Nah, Craig, the Watkins goal has made my day. Thanks." Look, I get it. I respect the banter, Ava. I really do. If it was the other way around, I'd be giving it back to you. And as I've always said, mate, I give it. I like to try and be able to take it as well. Except in the bedroom, I'm very much just a giver then. Substitution there, by the way. Gravenberch went off. Who was it came on? Chiesa came on. So double change. Wirtz on, Chiesa on, Gravenberch off, Gomez off. So he's gone into the panic mode, pile everybody forward. Arne Slot, Ten Hag 2.0. That's all he is. This is Ten Hag all over again, by the way, United. Right, free kick. It's a little bit wider than the last one, but no doubt Dom will certainly be looking for Virgil's head again here. Oh, it's a good set piece again. Look at that for distribution from a goalkeeper. Watkins makes a mess of it. Thankfully for us. Oh, it's all right though. We're trying to give it back to them on the edge of our own box. Good. We wouldn't want to do that non-foolish here, boys. Jesus Christ. If Watkins could finish properly or had a bit of composure, this game would be out of sight now. But we've got away with it again. Emi Martinez plays a straight ball down the middle. All our defenders are up the other end of the pitch from the set piece. He releases the ball quickly, and even trying to be fouled gets it up to Watkins. And Watkins makes an absolute hames of it after that. And Kirkes does so well to read it and close down the Villa player. Georgie Burgess, snip, is our keeper. Buy yourself some sweeties. I mean, a few drinks, Sharon. Ava said, if you lose these 2 games, then you've done worse this year than Moyes United. But at least you got to see Moyes get fired, Ava. You know, and he didn't just have an ungodly amount of money spent and the British transfer record broken twice in one window for him, but then still make excuses all year. It's, yeah. Oh, look at this. We've no right back now. Look at that. Dina's in. There's no right back. Take your time, lads. Nothing to see here. No right back. Freedom of the whole flank. This is slots Liverpool. Can't defend. Don't know what we're doing. Look at the state of this. The fucking 2 and 8 of this again. Look at that. Chiesa's trying to be a right back. Oh, lads, I've seen it all. I've seen it all now. Alex said, missed super chat, but would you take Trent and Darwin back? Sorry for the missed super chat, my friend. Let me see if I can find the original one for you as well. But let me just deal with this corner. Hang on. Cash corner in. Headed away. Jones has it now for Liverpool on the edge of the box. He's closed down. And Villa go back to Emi Martinez. Where was the super chat I missed? Yeah, sorry, my man, on the original. But, crossbar now. Villa have hit the crossbar and it's a corner. Lads, this should be 4 or 5-1 to Villa. We're blessed. Buendia hits the angle of crossbar and post here. And again, look at the space. Look at this. There's fucking no. Look at this. There's no one there. There's nobody there. There's 2 Villa players out there and there's nobody within 20 yards of them. Oh my days. Oh my days. There's nobody within 20 fucking yards of them. Oh my god. Oh my god. No, I wouldn't take them back. The Trent one more so because I couldn't see Liverpool paying a transfer fee for someone that walked out for next to nothing. So no, mate, I wouldn't. But at least they had a bit of fight. You know, say what you want, and Darwin's finishing was terrible, but at least he had. Oh, Mac is down now. Boo boo, boo boo. Somebody, Mac is down. Man down. Man down. Mac is down now. Unprecedented circumstances here, lads. Mac is down. Oh, get the fuck up. Get up, you absolute shithouse. I'm talking to my own player here. You're an embarrassment. Get up. That is pathetic. Get up. That is fucking ridiculous. That is embarrassing from Alexis McAllister. Get up off the ground, you spanner. That is pathetic. That's embarrassment. Like, imagine walking down the street with your missus with a bag of shopping and a fella accidentally bumps into you like that. You're not going down on the ground and rolling around like a child. That is absolutely embarrassing, McAllister. Come on, dude. He gets it here and he's up holding the top of his head. It's an absolute embarrassment. He started all of that, by the way, with Konza. Started all of it. Now he's trying to give it Billy Big Bollocks. Why do you think the club is so resistant to just getting Alonso? Is he trying to prove that Slot was the right man with him? This is painful. I think Jason made that and the fact that they don't want Alonso commanding that respect immediately and wrestling power away from the calculator kid and, I don't know, Dweeb Patrol. Another strike, saved, balls in the net, saved, balls in the net, goal, 3-1 Villa. Ollie Watkins again, 3-1. They'll be all right next season though, lads. It'll be grand. There's nothing to see here. We're grand. Data, AI and data. It's grand. We're grand. There's nothing to see here. It doesn't matter what the scoreboard says. The data says differently. So the scoreboard might say 3-1 Villa and we're fucked. But the data says differently. So there you go. When they produce the data to the Premier League at the end of the season, the data will show that we should have been league champions. So the data will fix everything because the data is king. Memory stick is better than this, Craig. Anything's better than this. Using a croissant as a fucking dildo is better than this. By the way, how did Pau Torres miss the initial chance? It's all right though. The data. Do you know what I mean? I'm relaxed because I know the data shows that he's a genius. The data and AI, lads. Don't worry about the score. Don't worry about little things like results, lads. Goal stands 3-1 Villa. Don't worry about little things like results. Fucking amateur hour. Use foolish people looking at results and performances. Don't be silly. It's all in the data. It's all in the data. The data shows. The data shows. The data's king. The data. My data shows that I'm 12 stone. The real world doesn't think that, but the data shows it. It's genius. See, this is us lulling them into a false sense of security for next season, so we can come in next season and surprise them. Maybe we can play Managerial as the DM next year. They won't be expecting that, will they? Calculator kid, what do you think? Throw another 100 million at it. That might solve it. That's it. AI and data. That's the way forward. This is shocking to watch, Craig. Lost for words. I get you, James. You guys need a new manager and another 500 million spent. See, I actually don't think we need as much money spent as this spoofer is making it look like we do. I actually think I'm going to go insane. I actually, if I said now what was going through my brain, you would think I've lost it. And you'd be right. For the love of God, lads. Like, what the actual are we looking at? Like, this could have been 6-7-8-1 at this point. They've let us off the hook so many times. What are these dweebs doing to our club? Slot is 100% sure, though, he'll be here next season. Yeah, the data, Alex. It's all on the data. You know, don't be paying attention to little things like results and scoreboards. That doesn't matter. The journalists have been briefed. We've all been told. And the data shows that Arne Slot is the Easter Bunny. And he's about to deliver us a fuckload of chocolate. Wirtz, he's challenged Cornet Liverpool. How can they not sack Slot playing like this? We might not qualify for the Champions League. How will the ownership back this manager? How? I don't know, Charles. It's because the calculator kid and dweebs or us just don't want to admit they were wrong. And they are going to take the club crashing and burning down with them because their little egos are bruised that they're wrong. And they don't want their reputations tarnished. And the hell to the season, next season, the fan base, the morale, any of it. Let these two fucking dweebs ruin the club and FSG will sit there Greg, fuck Greg. You right, Greg? This Arna guy, he's a fucking spoofer, Greg. Where's Richard? Get me Richard. Michael, you're not a ninja. Get out of that ninja outfit, Michael. You're a fucking clown. Linda! Where's my dick pills? Rook said, those with short memories, and that though. Yeah. Those with short memories have been muted, as Ernest Law has breathed new life into a managerial reign which had veered so alarmingly off course, said James Pearce. I have an idea. Oh, God, I can't see. Oh, go on, Rio. Go on. In my head, this is so bad, lads. Does anybody see that scene from Reservoir Dogs with it? And I don't know why I came here tonight. You know that scene from... I'm doing that to Hughes and Edwards right now in my head. I'm Michael Madsen dancing around while they're tied to the chair. And I'm thinking, Dada, lads, is it? Fucking Dada. Do you know what Nemesis is? Do you know what Nemesis is? Different film that I know, but I'm going through the whole repertoire here. And I don't know why I came here tonight. I got a feeling Arna is shite. Clowns to the left of me, Dada to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with dweebs. The goal is 100% on Macca, said Chad. Yeah, he had a boo-boo though, Chad. You're forgetting the boo-boo. The data shows that could have broken his jaw. I know he was holding the top of his eye, but that doesn't matter. Villa still pushing for a fourth here though. Hang on. How come Villa can be 2 goals up and still push forward and not bring on 19 defenders and 6 midfielders to try and see out the game? They mustn't have the same data that we have. That's it. Cracked it. That's it now. It's all in the data. End my suffering. Per Dom with second goal. Gerrard 2.0. Yeah, heartbreaking for him. He doesn't deserve that, Dom. I really do feel from sincerely. We deserve this goal because of McAllister's act. Yeah. McAllister's been acting like a little bitch boy all season. He's been throwing himself down on the ground, staying on the ground when teams have been counter-attacking us just because he's moaning at referees. What McAllister fails to realise, he started that little tete-a-tete there. And I don't know why I came here tonight, Greg. I got a feeling something ain't right, Greg. Liverpool next season, Arna is going to be like Rodgers. Yep. Can't wait for all the sales of the shirts they're going to get. Everybody be clamming over themselves to make sure they can get next season's shirt there with Gakpo on it. Looking forward to our new sexy centre forward, Mr. Cody Gakpo, Bentley ambassador. Corner in. Hooked away. Looked like it went out of play, by the way, but, you know, we're still playing on. Rio. Cross in. Virgil heads it back down. Chiesa swing and a miss, and it goes for a corner. I might consider us not get Champions League if it was for us to sack him and get Alonso. It's that bad. They're making us fans look dumb. They're making themselves look dumb. They're making us fans look like we were right all along. And we were. We were right when we said in November he should be sacked. We were right in December, January. Another corner here to Liverpool. Pull it back. Diverts his strike straight into the feet of Villa player who hook it away. Don't worry, lads. Arna said he knows exactly what to correct about Liverpool next season. This season was already a warm-up for Slot. That's it. It was merely a warm-up. He knows because the data says it. This is a sad end to Salah and Robbo's career. It is. I feel like Jerome. Joe said, F this, I'm out. Never turn off games, but I am now. Brian said he hates Slot. And Brian, you're not on your own. The three of them can fuck off. Edwards, Hughes and Slot can all fuck off. All of them allowing this to happen while gaslighting their own fan base is truly pathetic. How do owners watch this and not be infuriated? Charlie, you're making the incorrect assumption that they watch the games, mate. They just listen to Hughes and Edwards. Edwards runs around in his little Lego Ninjago outfit, doing little rolls along the floor and coming up with his little samurai sword. Every time John's around, he's there. I'm a ninja! I'm a data ninja! Look at me! I'm so mysterious. I hide away in the shadows because I'm a ninja. Lego Ninjago! Do you ever see Mr. Deeds? Do you remember that? That's what I think of when I think of Edwards. I'm sneaky, me. Don't underestimate my sneakiness. Is Champions League football guaranteed now? No, not guaranteed, mate. Not if we lose it, which it looks like we're going to. It depends on what happens this weekend and then the last game as well. If we win the last game, it's guaranteed, but away results versus top 9 for Slot. Wins 0, draws 1, losses 7. Top man! Away games against the top 9. Wins 0. 0. Fucking 0. Woo! What a man. What a man. Can't wait for the match reaction. Yeah, it's going to be so uplifting and positive. I can't wait for it myself. Thankfully, I have access to the data, so I know that even though that says 3-1, doesn't matter. We're the moral victors here. Chad said he's so effing disgusted. So bad. Mate, if he doesn't get fired after this, I fucking give up. Honestly, they might as well just tell us they don't care anymore at this point. Because you can't oversee this and think there's any coming back from it. Like, it's fuck off. So send them on holidays now. I'll pay for them to go to Dubai. Slot said this week he knows the problem and how to fix it. Why not now? Surprise. The element of surprise. He doesn't want to give it away now. He wants to have everybody surprised next season. Wait and you see it. You won't believe it. It's going to be unbelievable. He knows everything. Has it all sorted out. He's got to also solve world hunger. End all the wars. It's going to be beautiful. The most beautiful. Some might say it's going to be generational, what he's about to do with the data this summer. He knows. He knows. A little bit of tweaks here, a little bit of tweaks there. Another $500 million. 7 more years of transition. There we go. Good thing Arna knows what to do next year, though. Yeah, it's great. He's great. He'll be the envy of the Europa League next season. If you hear somebody in Wexford howling in the back garden, it's not me. Hope City do us a favour midweek or we're done. Look, how have we made it this hard to get into the Champions League? Truly, it's a monumental achievement to have made such difficult work at a qualifying for a Champions League when nobody else wanted to win. I'm done, guys. Leaving the sports bar. How are you guys? At least you have drink to make it bearable. I'm not a drinker, so I'm watching this. I'm fully heartbroken. I only have sarcasm and humour to get me by, because if I don't do that, I'm just going to be screaming and cursing. Ah, it's 4-1 now, though. It's 4-1 now. It's John McGinn, little curler edge of the box. What was that? Did somebody close him down, Craig? Don't be fucking silly. Don't be silly. We don't close people down. We wave at them and go, John, little dink, John, is it? Little dink. You crack on, fella. Crack on. Crack on. It's top corner. Don't worry about it, mate. We don't want to rush you. You take your time. You take your time. Pick out the top corner there, John. 4-1, sure. It's 4-1 now. It's 4-1. It's great. It's all great. It's all great. It's 4-1. He knows what he's doing, though. He's got it all sorted out. Has the quick fix in the summer. Has it sorted out. The dad is going to show. It's going to show. We're going to be better. It's all going to be great. It's all going to be great, don't you know? Don't you know? John, Linda, they all have it in plan. It's all fine. They're going to be great. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. It's going to be fucking tickety-boo. Nothing to worry about. Nothing to see here. No need for concern, folks. No need for concern. They know. Data munchers, data crunchers, ass lickers. They all know. They have it sorted. Bing, bang, bosh. Job done. Half a bill. No problem. Job done. Yep, yep, yep. Yep, 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 yep. 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 Oh, yep. Yep, 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 yep. Yeah, wouldn't want to do a silly thing like closing them down there or getting a block in around. No. The data shows that it's better to just let them have a free shot. Look, even Unai Emery's getting the jacket off. He's having his party because they've qualified for the Champions League now. They're in. They're done. It's game over. 4-1. 4-1. Another 3-goal defeat this season, ladies and gentlemen. Another one. Defeat number 19 or 20. Woo! It's great, this, isn't it? Go on, Dad. I'm going to get Dada on the back of my jersey for next season. Dada. That's what I'm going to get. Dada and fucking dweebs. Yeah. Yeah, 9k in the chat. If there's anybody who wants Sloth to stay, I do, because this is great. I'm having a great time. This has been remarkable. I'm so happy right now. It's wonderful. I'm excited. I'm optimistic. I'm looking forward to the future. I can't wait. It's wonderful. How could you not be intoxicated by this? The mere machismo of Arna on the sidelines. Wow. What a man. What a man. I can't wait. 4 more years. 4 more years. 8 minutes added on as well, so we've got that little extra 8-minute bonus. Little bonus here, ladies and gentlemen. Little Brucey bonus. 8 minutes. Woo! Is there anything to be said for a few more fucking midfielders? Go on. Woo! Woo! Slot needs to go ASAP. Can't take no more of this. You're just a toxic online fan, though. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about the score. Don't be silly. Don't be silly. Come on now. Silly goose. This is great. We're brilliant and everything's fine. It's fine. Isn't it? It's fine. Fine. Oh, we've got one back. Woo! 4-2. Yay! 4-2. Centre back is going to end up our top scorer here. Woo! 4-2. Woo! The comeback's on. Woo! Soboslai ball in. And Virgil heads it in again. 4-2. Yay! Just 3 more to get, lads, in the 6 minutes. Arna post game. We look at the numbers. We had possession, more corners. We were wonderful. Yeah, sorry, that's gone so quickly. I can't get back up to it. The problem with Liverpool is that you're too soft this season, losing. Darwin, Jota, Kwanzaa. The problem with Liverpool is the manager, mate. Quite simply, it's the manager. He's a spoofer. Are you saying Arna equals sick top? I don't know what that means. Can't wait for Liverpool to play for 10th to 15th in the group stage. Yeah, it's going to be wonderful. I'm so excited. I can't wait for next season. It's just going to be glorious. Because I'm fully calm knowing that they know what's wrong. And hang on. Hello? Yeah. Okay. You sure about that? Yeah. So, just got off the phone with Richard Hughes, Michael Edwards, and they've just told me the data has shown that we've lost games of football. So, You know, you can't argue with that. The data shown. But the data also said the projections for next season, they project that we'll win 37 games and draw 1. Remember, Champions League final, EFL final, FA Cup final, all would have been made for at least close if the board had kicked this fraud out in December. Yep. If I buy you a slot number 1 shirt, will I burn it live? I'll never burn a Liverpool shirt, mate. No, never. You buy anything else with his name on it and I'll burn it for you, but not a Liverpool shirt. Oh, Virgil's angry. Oh, boo-boo, Virg! Boo-boo! Are you angry, Virg? You're angry. Virg is angry. You know, he's angry. He's angry. Virg is angry. So, you know. E-Red's fault we're losing. Yeah, it's our fault. What's happened to our club? There's no fight. Plus, remember that really couldn't save spending money for his holiday. Things need fixing and fixing fast. I'd give Slot my redundancy money if he leaves, said Light Master Lee. Sorry, Craig, but you're so funny when angry. I have to do it because if I don't have sarcasm or a bit of a light-hearted side to it, I'll just end up going insane. Even more so. So it's a self-protection thing. I'm trying to catch up on Super Chats because there's been so many. I'm trying to just catch up because I've missed a few. Done that. Free kick into the wall, corner Villa, 95th minute. Slot said he knows the problem and how to fix it. Why not now? Hope City do us a favour midweek. We've done those ones. How will you compete with Arsenal next season when Alvarez and Tonali? We won't is the answer. I don't know if you'll get Alvarez though. Honestly, I don't know if he wants to come back to England. It's not an Arsenal thing. I just don't know if he's open to coming back to England. And PSG are sniffing around him as well. Angie said Everton will finish above us next season. We could do a brick top in the dressing room, said G. Lewis. Darwizzy said, never mind the data. Dweebs are more into watching adult websites. I'd have more respect for them if they were spending their time watching adult websites because at least they get something out of it, a release. I mean, that's too good, lads. That should be framed, that joke. That's too good. Arna post-game, we looked at the numbers. We had possession and more corners. We're unlucky, yeah. And this one I didn't finish earlier on, Stig. So the problem with Liverpool this year is that you're soft. I have been soft, mate. I haven't been able to get hard for a while. You're right on that one, Stig. Are you saying slot equals slick top? No, more ball fraud is what I'd be going for. Has to be sacked after this match, surely, said Techie. I don't know, mate. I mean, it doesn't matter. This is league or defeat number 19 or 20 of the season. And again, are you surprised at this point? Arna calls McAllister like the Argentina Iniesta Javi. Haven't won once against top 9 away this season. Nope, not once. Not once. It's wonderful, isn't it? And when asked how he's going to fix it next season, he just said, it's very easy. We just won't lose. What's happening to the club? There's no fight. Plus, Mamardach really couldn't save spending money for his holiday. Things need fixing and fixing fast. Honestly, Craig, this season has been so exhausting and long that doesn't bother me, to be honest. It's embarrassing and pathetic. I don't think I've ever disliked Liverpool manager this much before. I've never, ever disliked a Liverpool manager this much, and never will again, I'm sure. I am absolutely fucking fuming at our club for letting us get to this state and accepting it, accepting this mediocrity and failure as if it's something that a few tweaks can change. He is out of his depth and has been beaten again and again and again and again. And he's getting paid 7 million quid a year for the privilege of being shit. Chad said Manchester City will be the reason Liverpool won't make Champions League. It definitely wasn't earned. James said 20 defeats, 51 goals conceded, and Slot's the man. Morad said, yes, the reports are coming in out mid-game now. Miguel Delaney, Liverpool have not gotten contact with Alonso because both the data and other evidence they believe in Slaughter is the manager for better terms. Yeah, it's over, by the way. 4-2, Villa are in the Champions League. And Liverpool have to hope we can beat Brentford and results go our way. Villa have a Europa League final and I wish them the very best in it. Great club, great manager, great fans. I wish them nothing but the best in the Europa League final. But once again, our manager has been outmanaged and the dweebs that run the club cowardly from the shadows like the pussies that they are will do nothing about it. Brilliant. Well done, lads. Another round table, perhaps. That might fix it. Thank God we've got Hughes and his AI. David Sultana said, I've had enough of this crap. He needs to go. We need somebody that knows what they're doing. No Champions League. Well done, Arna. And thank you, David, for 26 months with us, mate. How bad are we that they keep him next season? I'd love to know that there has to be something that we don't know about. Has to be. Like, this is beyond a joke now. I don't even want to see any of these journalists saying anything other than he needs to be fired. If they don't write that now, give up. Give up, like they have. I don't know what to say at this point. Like, we come up against United, who are on the beats nearly, and they beat us. We come up with a Chelsea that can't win a game of football, scored 1 goal in 9.5 hours, and they get points off us. Then we come up against Villa, they beat us. It's just, how many fucking losses do we have to have before this man is removed from his job? It's just not fair. It's just not fair. It just isn't. It's ridiculous to even try to make a case to keep this man in a job. It's ridiculous. Hughes, Edwards and Slot should all be gone. It's pathetic. Slot will be in full PSG game, final game, said Corbin. PSG gear, final game. Slot's there at the start of next season. I can see fans calling for a boycott of matches. It's their own fault. It's the club's own fault. They have gaslit their own fan base all season by briefing their little friendly journalist mates that they're keeping them despite all the evidence. That's what they've done. Remember that. These lads have gone out of their way to wind you up all fucking year. Telling fans that what we're seeing with our own eyes isn't real. Telling fans that him being out-coached over and over again isn't real. Because they won't admit they made a mistake. Cowards, the lot of them. Fucking cowards. Do your job that you're paid a hell of a lot of money to do and stop trying to tell us that this shite is acceptable. Do your jobs or fuck off to Saudi or wherever else you want to go. You absolute fucking dweebs. Get out of the club. You're destroying it. Hello, Craig. This match shows how embarrassing it is. So much space to run into, yet we give ourselves no options going forward or defending. It's truly embarrassing. Love your work. Keep it up. Thank you, my man. It is embarrassing. You're right. That game could have been 7 or 8 and we couldn't have complained. They hit the post. The keeper made a few saves. A right back must have been gone shopping or something. I don't know where they were. 10 beers deep. Sack them, except Rio. Absolute embarrassment. Craig, your impersonations are hilarious. Thank you. But that's what it looks like when a man's going insane live on air. Slot must look at this and think, yeah, dynamite this. Yeah, he definitely winks at himself in the mirror when he's gone past. Definitely. And he closes the fridge with his hips as well. That's the type of man. Can't imagine why I wouldn't be manager next year. He knows the solution. He's resigning then. Yeah, that's the solution we want. Nothing to see. It's all tickety-boo. Legend. Slot's an awesome manager, Craig. Don't be nasty. I know, he's brilliant. He's brilliant. Like I said, I'm thinking of having the snip. Say I had a vasectomy. I'm thinking of having that reversed just so I can have another kid and I can call them Arna. That's the sacrifice I'm willing to make here. Go in, reverse vasectomy, another little chavvy, baby Arna. Welcome, baby. Why has he come out so tanned? What's going on here? Why is he tanned? And he's wearing navy. He's been born and he's wearing navy. Like, he came out wearing navy. What the fuck's going on here? Like, little baby Arna. He must walk around all day with his head going, I'm learning. The Liverpool banter years from 1990 to 2014 are back. I don't know what else to say, lads. But the petition, let's have a look at the petition before we go to the match reaction. The petition's now gone past 4.5 million. Totally Not Wellington said, is this the same guy they're happy with? I just can't understand what's going on, Craig. On a serious note, I'm laughing. I lost interest ages ago. Best time, let's laugh about it because that's all that's left. A digital hug for you, Craig, my man. It's hard to feel so numb anymore. Keep it up, Craig. Thank you. The fact that after this, he doesn't resign says a lot about his character. Of course it does, Jason. Anybody with an ounce of decency would realise they're out of their depth here. But his arrogance, along with Hughes' arrogance and Edwards' arrogance, is keeping them all in jobs. And FSG's, I don't know what to say about them at this point. For the first time in decades of being a Liverpool fan, have I scored a goal this hard? Because 3-1 is not enough for this motherfucker to leave. 4-1 maybe. I pray. I'm on my knees begging God. Don't worry, we have the possession. Craig, I think you've officially lost it. Your humour's making this bearable. Thank you. Appreciate that. The Liverpool 1992 to 2014 band years are back, said Damien. You're forgetting we have the data. It'll be fine. Craig, your humour's the only thing getting me through this right now. Thank you. The same Villa that lost 2-1 to Spurs, by the way. Isak, get rid of. Not good enough. When I said Arna or Stallone earlier on, I meant which should be in charge of Brentford. The data says John Rambo. I agree, John Rambo's the man. Bring him in. Bring him in, Padge. Roll on tomorrow game, Celtic versus Hearts. Should be a better game than this, and I'm a Liverpool fan too. Triple Landscaping said, can we start a GoFundMe to raise the 7 million to pay Arna out? Yeah, I'll chip in. Honestly, I will. Unfortunately, you will sack Slot. We'd love to keep this absolute fraud. Chin up, mate. Clean slate next season. United fan loving it. Max said, we've conceded 50 plus goals, 51 in the 38 game season for the first time. Seriously, how much more do FSG need to see? Arna flying to Ibiza in the morning. Wait, no! Mr. Lineker, how are we? Sesh. This can't be real. Feels like we're in Twilight Zone. Liverpool 0 wins versus top 9 this season away from home. Hopefully Soboslai gets us moved to a bigger club. Hopefully he doesn't. Hopefully he stays. Yep, here next season we're done. If we finish 5th, do we get Champions League? Yes, we do. 44 points in the last 32 games is not fantastic. Even Hodgson would be better than this team. Folks, I'm going for the match reaction. We'll see you in 60 seconds.